It's late May, but the rivalry continues. Tradition-steeped Wrigley Field, Chicago, the ivy on the wall. The fans of the Cardinals and the Cubs coming into their seats. And Albert Pujols likes it here. It's the Cardinals and the Cubs, Game 3 of the weekend series here in the Windy City. And hello again, everybody. Jay Randolph along with Rick Horton. It's good to have you with us. Not too much wind today, but a win for the Cardinals would make them 3-3 on this rugged road trip.
It'd still be a pretty good road trip with a victory today. And isn't it great when the Cubs and Cardinals play against each other? These are my favorite games. The Cardinals sending one of their aces today, Adam Wainwright, was outstanding, Jay, in San Diego. 12 strikeouts, did not get a win in that game, but had an explosive fastball to go along with his very good breaking ball. Really excellent stuff from Wainwright. We hope we see that again here this afternoon.
He pitched as well as I've ever seen him on Tuesday night.
And a look at the Cardinals' middle of the order, Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday. Got to get hot sometime. Albert Pujols in 2007 had an average under 300 late in June, but you just don't expect to see that at Albert, 299. He does have 8 game-winning RBIs, Jay, which actually leads all of baseball. So Albert and Holliday in the middle of that lineup, still very dangerous.
A tough loss here yesterday, 12 strikeouts for the Cardinals. They're going to try to get their hitting shoes going today. And when we come back, Frank Cusimano visits with Dave Duncan.
Baseball fans, make your next game day part of a great getaway in historic St. Charles, Missouri. Just a short drive west of Busch Stadium, St. Charles offers the safety and value of a smaller city, but with nightlife and attractions that really measure up. She'll love the specialty shops and restaurants along Main Street. You'll enjoy Bass Pro or a handcrafted beer at Trailhead Brewing Company. To plan your game day getaway, visit historicstcharles.com. Shop, dine, stay, play. Discover St. Charles, Missouri.
When it comes to buying a minivan, there are things you need to know. Like which minivan has a 5-star crash safety rating, traction control system, electronic stability control, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program. And as a Consumer's Digest Best Buy, when you know all that, you know the Kia Sedona. And right now, get up to $3,500 cash back.
With the steak burger, you can hear the freshness.
Just that sizzle. 4 meals under $4, that's a good deal.
Good, fresh meat.
So much glorious, meaty goodness.
Salty sticks of brilliance.
And you can taste that freshness.
Cheeseburger, French fry.
Fresh and crispy and delicious.
Your favorite steak burger meals and even chicken fingers, all served with our thin and crispy fries. 4 meals under $4. And now get a refreshing sweet tea for just $1. Steak and Shake. Life needs flavor.
High-speed internet from AT&T includes on-the-go access across the nation's largest Wi-Fi network at no extra charge. Switch to high-speed internet from AT&T for just $19.95 a month with no home phone service required.
What's parkour?
Let me show you. That's parkour.
AT&T. Rethink possible.
May I help you?
Hi, I need to start saving on car insurance.
Money a bit tight?
Yeah, I've had to cut back, sell some stuff, like his watch.
We can help you save because we instantly compare your Progressive Direct rate with rates from other top companies. Watch this. Nice savings.
This means I can buy my watch back.
Oh, this watch?
Yeah.
Not for sale.
That's cold.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
And welcome back to Cardinal Baseball on News Channel 5. It's the Cardinals and Cubs in the wrap-up game of a 3-game series. It's a pleasure to get together with the Cardinal pitching coach, Dave Duncan. And Dave, the big story nationally in baseball is Roy Halladay in that perfect game. And when I'm watching this game, I can't help but think of Chris Carpenter in terms of demeanor and the way he approaches a game.
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities there. He's aggressive. Very confident, pitches with tremendous amount of confidence, and he's got great stuff. I had a chance to watch the last inning when I got back to the hotel yesterday, and it was pretty exciting, really. And the thing that impressed me the most is he wasn't out there trying to trick him. You know, he just powered right through that 9th inning, and that's the type of pitcher he is.
Do you almost get goosebumps even though you're in Chicago and just watching the game from your hotel room television?
It's a little suspenseful, and it's pretty neat to watch the final 3 outs there. And actually, it's pretty decent play made at third base for the final out of the game.
Let's talk about today's starter, Adam Wainwright. Your impressions of what you've seen out of Adam. Has he gone to another level here?
Well, I think he took that step last year. I think the final thing that Adam had to really accomplish was that ability to stay focused for the entire game, not get distracted at any point in time during the game. And last year, I think that was the big thing that helped him have the type of year he did last year.
What did you think of Adam Ottavino's start yesterday?
Acceptable. The Cubs are playing pretty good baseball, and he gave us 5 competitive innings, and I didn't like the base on balls. Still too many base on balls, too many pitches thrown for 5 2/3 innings, but overall, I thought under the circumstances, it was a very acceptable job.
He definitely has big league stuff, correct?
Yes, he has big league stuff. The only thing that he really needs to do is have better command of his pitches.
Dave Duncan visiting with us on the Cardinal pregame show. I also want to get your take on his future. I know that you and Tony are probably still debating this, but does he get another start?
Oh, yeah, he'll get another start. We're not sure exactly when Brad Penny's going to be ready to get back into the rotation, or Kyle Loesch, it looks like, is going to be out about 6 weeks. So there's going to be some starts there, and it's kind of a little thing. Probably him and PJ will make whatever starts are there, and when we get Penny back, we'll see which one we think gives us our best chance.
You had to like what you've seen out of Walters so far.
I did. Anytime you pitch in a big league game and win, you got to like that. But I don't know that San Diego offense is a real test. So he's going to be put to a test against Cincinnati. They're playing good. They're hitting good. They're scoring a lot of runs. And if he can duplicate his performance against Cincinnati, then that'll be something that will get our attention.
Since you've come here, you have gone by the philosophy pitch to contact. Can you explain that to our audience and why that's the right approach for this Cardinal team?
Well, a lot of people criticize that because they think that means that you're going to throw the ball right down the middle of the plate. Basically what it means is that you want to make the hitter swing the bat. It doesn't mean that you're throwing the ball down the middle of the plate. You're selecting the pitch and the location that you think that the hitter will make poor contact on, and you're trying to execute that pitch. But you're not trying to get the hitter to swing and miss necessarily, or pick around the strike zone. You're basically you want the hitter to swing the bat, put the ball in play, and take your chances. And if your location is in the bottom of the strike zone, if you have movement on the ball, then you got a good chance of getting ground balls, and that ends up giving you quick innings, low pitch counts, all the things that a starting pitcher needs to do to be an effective starting pitcher.
Well, nobody has executed that better over the years than Chris Carpenter, and he's 6-1. His ERA is under 3. I think we'll take that, but he has given up a lot of home runs so far this season. What do you make of Carp so far?
Well, the home runs have nothing to do with pitch to contact. It has to do with not making the pitch that he's trying to make. And is Chris Carpenter the same Chris Carpenter that he was last year? Not yet. His cutter hasn't been quite as consistent as it was last year. His velocity fluctuates a little bit, but he still has that tremendous curveball that is an equalizer, that's for sure. But I think we'll see Chris even better as the season goes on.
A lot of people were worried early on about Ryan Franklin. Had a rough stretch at the end of last season, and he has almost been lights out the entire year. There's another guy, pitch to contact, correct?
Well, yeah, he's not afraid to throw strikes. He has excellent control, and he's not going to walk anybody. He's going to make you swing the bat, and he knows how hard it is to hit, and he's going to make them swing the bat.
I've always thought one of the best scenes, if you arrive at the ballpark early at Busch Stadium or even a road game, is the 30-second walk between you, Yadier Molina, and that starting pitcher. It's almost like you're three soldiers going to work. It really is a trio. It's not just the starting pitcher, it's not just the catcher, it's not just the pitching coach. You guys go out there as a unified force almost.
Well, that's the only, I guess it's normal that would take place. That's the only way you can get back to the dugout from the bullpen unless you go underneath the stadium somewhere.
But I mean, the way you guys walk out there with your game plan and the way you all are on the same wavelength.
It's just a routine. It's a routine, and it's been that way ever since I've been here.
How much longer will you do this, by the way?
I don't know. I'll do it as long as they want me and as long as I enjoy doing it, and I still enjoy doing it. It's a challenge for me, and I enjoy it.
Do you wake up excited every morning to go to work?
Excited? No, but I enjoy the game. I enjoy the competition of the game, and I enjoy the preparation, and I enjoy seeing guys succeed. I mean, it's fun to watch a guy reach the goals that he aspires.
Great stuff, Dave. We appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.
We'll be back with more of our pregame show from Wrigley Field right after this.
I believe the difference that we have is the relationship with our medical staff
and how they work together for the common good.
You get results when you have a cooperative effort and everybody's on the same team.
We have all the equipment and technology that we need to care for our patients.
What I know I'm going to get at St. Francis is this, a team of people that you know you can count on.
What that provides you then is peace of mind, to know that your patients are well taken care of.
This is a great place to be a physician. This is a great place to be a patient.
Looking to further your career or expand your technical skills? The Perryville Area Career and Technology Center has just the training you need. Highly experienced instructors can provide certified training in heating and air conditioning. Our HVAC instructor and program is HVAC's Excellent Certified as well as NATE Certified, and we are a NATE testing and training site. Welding technology. Our welding instructor is certified with the American Welding Society and performs AWS Certified Welding Skilled exams. Next year's classes are forming now. Call the Career Center today and get your career in gear.
With 4 flights a day to St. Louis, Cape Air connects you to the world, all for $49 each way. Book your whole trip, including connecting flights out of St. Louis on Expedia.com or call 1-866-CAPE-AIR. Cape Air to St. Louis and beyond.
June 18th and 19th, for the first time ever, welcome a living legend, newly crowned Monster Jam World Champion, Gravedigger. Advance Auto Parts Monster Jam Summer Heat. Brought to you by Ford Trucks and McDonald's. For the first time ever, 4-time World Champion, Gravedigger takes on more of the best Monster Jam superstars at Paducah International Raceway. And kids seats are just $5. June 18th and 19th, Paducah International Raceway.
We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
We swapped your car for the week.
What?
It's a Ford Escape.
Really?
Yeah.
I really like the parallel parking. Oh my goodness, it's doing it.
Your car's been swapped for a week. It's a Ford Edge.
It has all kinds of features my Equinox does not have.
The Vista roof. Call Dad.
Call Dad.
Love that.
Hurry to the Ford Swap Your Ride sales event and get Edge with 0% financing for 60 months or $3,500 cash back.
I feel edgy.
Very clever.
And welcome back to Wrigley Field. It's the Cardinals and Cubs on News Channel 5 in the series finale. Hello again, everybody. I'm Frank Cusimano. Well, the only difference between the Yankees and Red Sox rivalry and the Cubs and Cardinals is the Yankees and Red Sox are on national television more. This is a tremendous rivalry, one that the Cardinals always seem to get the better of. We got Brock, they got Brolio. We win championships, and the Cubs haven't. Let's go down memory lane and take a look at this great rivalry.
I remember a game from '67, which is where I think the rivalry kind of rekindled after being dormant for about 30 years. The Cubs came to St. Louis in July for a crucial 3-game series, and they won the first game, which tied them with the Cardinals for first place. And then the Cardinals won the next night, and I was there, and as well as the next night. And those are really big games.
Big games indeed, despite the fact that the Cardinals and Cubs have been engaged in a few head-to-head races to win the division.
There's only been 3 recorded years in which the Cardinals and Cubs finished first and second to each other in the standings.
Perhaps because of the lack of dramatic pennant races the rivalry really gets its foothold in the stands.
When I interviewed Jack Buck, he said, compared to some of the other rivalries like the Yankees and the Red Sox and like the Phillies and the Mets, he said it's a very clean rivalry in that, you know, people aren't busting each other's heads and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of good-natured razzing.
The games on the field always seem to have a feel to them and a flair for the dramatic.
Ramirez, left center.
Back in 1961, consecutive doubleheaders, which was rare in those days. But Bill White got 14 hits in those 4 games, 4 in each of the first 2 games on that July 17th, and then the next night he got 6 hits. The opening game of the 1965 season, the Cardinals were defending world champions. They jumped off to a 5-0 lead behind Gibson, and they ended up being tied. The game was declared a tie, 10-10, because they didn't have lights in those days, and they got to the point where it was too late to start an inning.
The Cardinals' other institutions.
But perhaps the crowning moment, as far as the Cardinals are concerned, came in 1958 at Wrigley Field, when Stan Musial, at hit number 2,999, the Cardinals decided to sit the man out from the final game of a series in Chicago so he could make history at home. But with the Cardinals trailing 3-1 in the 6th inning, Musial came to bat and doubled to left for hit number 3,000. Adding salt to the wound, the Cardinals later won the game.
George asked me for an article that he was writing, what do you think the big difference is between Cardinal and Cub fans? And I said, well, that's easy. In St. Louis, we go into every season believing that the Cardinals will have a chance to win the pennant. I said, in Chicago, you guys can only hope that the Cubs will.
Here's a great deal from Emo's. Get 2 medium, 2-topping Emo's pizzas for $7.99 each. That's right, 2 medium, 2 toppings, only $7.99 each.
Everybody knows it's Emo's, the square beyond compare.
I am Dave Sinclair, and everybody here is going to make sure that everything my dad did and everything he stood for remains unchanged.
I am Dave Sinclair.
I am Dave Sinclair.
I am Dave Sinclair.
With extended weekday service hours
and Saturdays too.
We have 4 locations to service any customer with extended hours Monday through Thursday and Saturday hours at 3 out of 4 locations. If you're looking for a good service experience, try any Dave Sinclair dealership.
I am Dave Sinclair.
Thank you, and here's my address.
What do you see?
I see points.
Really?
3 times points.
Wow.
4 times points. 5 times points.
All right. What about love?
Let's stick with the points.
Mystery points at Ameristar. Reveal and earn up to 5 times points with your Star Awards card. Ameristar. More casino, more fun.
Whose idea was this? It says that when you buy a Grand Caravan, Dodge will give you 60 days to decide if you want to keep it. It's ridiculous. Look at that thing. Why would you need 60 days? Really, who is that indecisive? The Dodge, you won't need 60 days to decide, but we'll give it to you anyway. Event.
Or, during the Memorial Day sales event, well-qualified lessees can get Grand Caravan SE for $259 a month.
I've been told to desire a red Italian sports car.
I've been told beige and predictable fit my lifestyle.
We've been told hollow status symbols are the goal.
I've been told it captures my essence.
Break the spell at your local Audi dealer today.
Switch your auto insurance through AAA and you could save up to $300. AAA Insurance. So easy, so smart, so switch. Call now for a free quote.
McMahon Ford. New location, same great deals.
Cardinals baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. By Commercial Bank. Want more in a banking relationship? Call, click, or come by Commerce Bank, member FDIC. And by Sunset Ford. Click and pick today. Drive it home tomorrow. Visit sunset-ford.com. Not a cloud in the sky as you get a good look at this Historic, tradition-steeped old ballpark here on the north side of Chicago, the second oldest baseball professional facility in the world.
Built in 1914, Jay. A lot of great moments at this ballpark. Babe Ruth called his shot here. Home run in the dark by Gabby Hartnett. And the new breed of Cubs is led by Lou Piniella.
And this weekend, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday series.
Well, Friday started out with a bang for the Cardinals. They banged out 6 straight hits to start the game, and you had the thought that maybe the Cardinal offense was going to turn it around. They picked up game 1 of this series, and the pitching was outstanding behind Chris Carpenter. Not the great fastball, but very good location. Fernando Salas pitched in his major league debut to finish it out. All a good start. Ended up with an L for Chicago.
Yesterday.
Not so good yesterday as Adam Ottavino gets his major league debut and was okay. Gave up a few runs, didn't get a lot of help defensively, and the Cardinal offense was shut down by Mr. Silva, who is now 7-0 on the season. And just not a lot of things went right for the Cardinals yesterday, so this series even at 1. Cardinals with a chance to have a 500 road trip with a victory here this afternoon.
And you mentioned Ottavino. I really thought he handled himself very well. This is not an easy place to pitch your first professional game.
No, I'll say. I can't think of a worse place, in fact.
And you look at the manager there, and Adam Wainwright. Wainwright going to the hill today with a 6-3 record and a 2.38 ERA. The umpires are at home plate, and a full house here, standing room only.
Capacity here at Wrigley Field is just over 41,000, so about 2,000 less than Busch Stadium in St. Louis, and it's a very unique venue here. The fans get into the game, and of course there's always folks dressed in red here.
A lot of Cardinal fans in Chicago, and a lot of them have come to Chicago this weekend as we take a look at the Redbird lineup.
Skip Schumacher back in the leadoff spot here this afternoon. He hits Ryan Dempster very well, as does Ryan Ludwig. They're at the top of the Cardinals order with Pujols, Holiday, Freese. John Jay getting the start in center, and Molina, Ryan, and Wainwright finish out the Cardinals lineup.
Dempster, the man from Canada, 33 years old. In his last outing, he snapped a 4-game losing streak with 8 shutout innings against the Dodgers last Tuesday. He's 6-6 career-wise against St. Louis with a 4.35 ERA. Former Florida Marlin. He's had 15 starts over the years against the Cardinals, and of course he faced them, of course, in many relief appearances as well.
He has an excellent fastball, but he's got an even better slider, and if you look at his hits plus walks per innings pitched, it's very, very low. He's just very competitive, and despite the 3-4 record, he's had a pretty good season.
The Cubs defense this afternoon.
Castro, the rookie shortstop, has made a number of errors, but he's a little bit like Brendan Ryan. He gets to balls nobody else gets to, and many of those errors have been throwing errors off balance, but he's an exciting young player. Ramos Ramirez getting the start at third, Jay, and we know he's been dealing with a thumb issue.
Yeah, Fontenot played there yesterday and had a couple of triples. Schumacher leading it off, and as you mentioned, he's done well against Dempster over the years. A .419 batting average for the Cardinals second baseman. The Redbirds 12-8 playing day baseball this season, and they are 13-14 on the road. Toyota presents our first pitch of the afternoon. Ryan Dempster will be caught this afternoon by Giovanni Soto as Schumacher steps in there. What a day for baseball. Hope you'll enjoy it wherever you are this afternoon. Of course, Memorial Day weekend. 84 degrees here at game time. And deep in the hole, the shortstop Castro. A dandy play, and a dandy play at both ends as Lee handled that bouncer over there at first base. Schumacher hit that ball hard.
Well, we talked about the range of Castro, and we get a look at it here. He goes deep in the hole. He's got a very strong arm. Derek Lee, as sure-handed as any first baseman in the National League, picks it, takes a hit away from Skip Schumacher.
Ludwig batting .283 for the season, a 2-run homer in the game here on Friday, and a .421 average lifetime against Dempster. Cardinals batting .256 as a team, have now hit 43 home runs for the season. And here's a shot into left center. On the run, Bird makes the play out there.
As we score in our scorebook, Jay, we often put an L and then the outfield number, either 7, 8, or 9, instead of an F if it's a line drive. Way too many L's for Ryan Ludwig in the last couple of weeks. He's hit a lot of balls right on the nose without much to show for it.
Albert Pujols is introduced to the throng here. He's a .275 hitter lifetime against Ryan Dempster. Leads the club with 34 RBIs, 9 home runs. On the road trip, batting .278. Right down the middle. Ooh, that almost hit Albert.
Dempster begins in the center of the rubber and has a little unique delivery. As we look at that fastball up and in, he kind of shakes his glove. It's kind of his trademark, and I think he probably does that more to just get himself settled than anything else. A little flip of the glove.
Foul back. Yeah, he didn't used to do that. That's something that he's added to his repertoire in the last couple of years.
The key for the hitter is don't get overly focused on it.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that if you're the hitter. You'll forget to look for the ball, right?
That's what Brendan Ryan said earlier in this week. He started to focus on the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand, and my first thought was, what else are you thinking about?
Albert with a long one to left. And it is gone. That's a street ball, boys and girls. Whoa, what a shot. Very little wind here this afternoon, but a light wind blowing toward left.
Well, that was a bomb off the bat of Albert Pujols. He gets all of this. Very balanced lower half of his body. Not much other than the swing. And look how far this ball goes out of Wrigley Field onto the street, as you mentioned. Home run number 10 for Albert Pujols.
Here's Matt Holliday. This crowd humming here after that shot. Rick's keys to the game were score first, and the Redbirds have jumped on top.
20 and 5.
Outside.
20 and 5, Jay, in games in which they have scored first.
Holliday against Dempster, .375 hitter. Another one wide, 2 balls and no strikes.
I'll be interested to hear a distance on that home run. 400 plus.
That might have hit across the street at Waveland out there. Up the middle. So the 2-out home run and now the single. That'll give David Freese an opportunity to bat.
Well, Matt Holliday just takes the ball up the middle, which is what you want to do as a hitter, especially if you're not feeling terribly comfortable. Holliday's kind of been in and out, Jay. It's almost like you think he's back and then he has a bad day, and you think he's back, and it's looked like he's making adjustments on a daily basis. But when he gets hot, he can carry a ball club for a week or two.
David Freese. David is batting .293. The hometown hero, certainly. He's had a terrific start to his career with the Redbirds. Tailed off a little bit on this road trip, batting .235. Let me change Freed's batting average. It's .307. Two balls and a strike. Freese has never faced Dempster before. They play David straight away. And deep in the hole. Castro can't make the play. Infield single. 2 on and 2 out for John Jay.
I think generally the advantage goes to the pitcher when two guys have not faced each other before, because the pitcher will get a book on the hitter and the hitter has to get a feel for the release point of the pitcher, and it's kind of a feel thing. And in this case, Freese starts off in the right way with an infield hit. Again, good range by Castro, but no play.
John Jay getting the call in center field today, batting .200 on this road trip and .254 the season. Redbirds with 6 consecutive hits here in the first inning on Friday, and now have 3. Inside, ball 1. Albert with that home run, getting things started against the Cubs. The Redbirds hit 18 home runs against Chicago last season. Another one high and tight. The left fielder, Soriano, playing very deep.
Not the best of defensive players in left field. Cubs a little better in center and right.
There's a strike. Our plate umpire this afternoon is Mike Easterbrook. Dan Bellino at first, Mike Winters at second, Hunter Wendelstedt at third.
John Jay has not been productive yet with runners in scoring position. He has another chance here.
Foul back to the screen.
I'd say he's been productive, Jay, in his time as a Cardinal. He was the minor league player of the month in the month of April and has hit pretty well. Kind of an average defensive outfielder. He has a good arm. He'll be in center for Kobe Rasmus today, who is really struggling.
Dempster working a bit slower than I normally remember him here, with 2 on and 2 out. The count 2-2, and he steps off the rubber. Time call.
Just to make it a little slower, Jay.
Jay, of course, facing Dempster for the first time, as well as Freese was. Fouled out of play.
Soto and Dempster really not together at all, as Soto raced out after that pitch, did not like the pitch location, and has got a few things to say to the veteran Dempster.
Jay has started 3 games this year. This is his 4th start, and he has hit in the previous 3. Caught the corner, the strikeout. The Redbirds, though, have the lead on a gigantic home run to left by Albert Pujols. We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
This Ford F-150 is yours for a week.
It's gorgeous. I like the hands-free phone. Call Emily.
You know, the F-150 has best-in-class towing and payload.
The power was there. The stability was there.
Well, I've done some homework on you. You're a Chevy guy.
Not any longer. I'm done.
Get 0% financing or up to $5,500 cash back on F-150. Visit your quality Ford dealers today.
Time for an upgrade.
Let's do it. Can I have the keys?
Nope.
All right.
Go high. That's what we needed to see.
Time, your boy's asleep at the wheel.
Hey guys, who wants some fresh biscuits?
Guys, don't bake. Made from scratch chicken biscuits. We bake them fresh so you don't have to. New at Hardee's.
Welcome back to Cardinal Baseball on News Channel 5. Frank Cusimano with you. With Mark McGwire watching 5 feet away, Albert Pujols had a McGwire-like batting practice today. I mean, there were a ton of Cardinal fans in the left field bleachers, and Albert was providing them with some free souvenirs. And right in the middle of BP, one of his teammates wanted Albert to look up on the stands to say hi to somebody. Albert said, "I can't. I'm concentrating on my hitting." Jay and Rick, back to you.
Well, he concentrated on that first one. He knocked it all the way over Waveland, I believe. We're checking on the distance as you look at the starting lineup for the Cubs.
Ramirez back at third base today. He's battled a left thumb injury. His batting average, Jay, just 164. And a pretty good Cubs lineup there. Batting average top 5 in the National League.
Wainwright 6-3. Fukudome at the plate, leading off. A strike on the inside corner to Casquet. Adam getting his 11th start of the season. His first against the Cubs. Coming off the 12 strikeouts in that tough 1-0 loss at San Diego on Tuesday. The 1-1. Into center field. John Jay is camped under it. 1 away. The Redbird defense.
Interesting place to play defense here in the outfield. Not a lot of experience in center field with Jay. Ryan Ludwig playing outstanding defense this year will be in right field. Holiday in left. And you hope that the middle infield gets off to a good start. Makes some nice plays early on. Gets settled in.
Here's Ryan Theriot.
An issue here yesterday, a ball got stuck in the ivy and Colby Rasmus went and took it out, and it ended up being a triple instead of leaving it in the ivy. And the ground rule here in Chicago is that's a double, and we assume John Jay is aware of that in center field. Colby evidently forgot that and ended up costing the Cardinals a base.
On the ground to the shortstop. Ryan throws on. 2 away.
That's one of the unique things about this ballpark is the ivy on the fence here. And
Bill
I enjoy this
Beck
ballpark.
planted that ivy here. One of the great innovators in baseball history. Here's Derek Lee, the 34-year-old veteran, 3-time Gold Glover. In for a strike. Lee batting .223 in his career against Wainwright.
Lee doesn't get cheated, does he? Got that open stance. He has tremendous power of his own. Starts out open. When the ball comes in, closes.
He went around. Well, the first base umpire says no. Dan Bellino said he didn't go around.
Can we ask him again?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to change anything. Fouled up into the upper deck to the right side.
Perfect location on that fastball. Molina wanted it down and away, and Adam hit his glove. Same spot. Going to set up just off the plate.
Lee's uncle, Leron Lee, played for the Cardinals. And his dad once worked for the Cubs as their scouting director in the Pacific Rim. And there's the strikeout. The Cubs go down 1-2-3 after one in Chicago. 1-0 St. Louis.
First I was in a wheelchair, and then I went from a wheelchair to a walker, and now I'm walking with a cane. I just wouldn't have any other company because I have been with other companies, but I believe in this one.
Your choice for positive change.
There's no need to feel anxious about cataract removal if you trust the skilled hands of experience at Marriott Eye Centers. With over 100,000 successful cataract surgeries, you'll benefit from years of hands-on expertise. And the small incision technique means a pain-free procedure with immediate results. Pediatric eye care, LASIK, glaucoma, retinal care, cataract removal. You'll find experience makes all the difference at Marriott Eye Centers.
Anderson's Furniture in Pittsburgh and Marion wants your business with savings store-wide on Lazy Boy, England, and Best chairs. Lazy Boy recliners starting at $2.99. New full-size sofas starting at $3.99. Queen-size mattress and springs starting at $399.99. Check our local papers for additional coupons and save even more. Shop both Anderson's locations and pocket the savings.
Southern Illinois' only furniture warehouse.
Come see us at downtown Marion in Pittsburgh, Illinois.
Plaza Tire Service is giving you $50 cash back on the all-new Nokian N-Tire. Engineered for ultra-low rolling resistance for reduced air pollution and fuel consumption. Grooved for cooler running. Manufactured with green technology using earth-friendly, non-toxic oils. Nokian N-Tire premium all-season tires are available only at Plaza Tire Service. And you'll get $50 instant cash back when you buy a set of 4. Plaza Tire Service, celebrating 47 years of saving you more and the exclusive home of the Nokian N-Tire.
Next Family Sunday, a week from today, June 6th, the Cards and the Brewers. All fans purchasing a terrace or pavilion reserved seat receive a free Hunter hot dog and a Coca-Cola. Plus, all the kids will get a free Six Flags ticket. Get your Sunday tickets today at Cardinals.com. Yadier Molina leading it off as we go to the second inning. Yadi, a .286 hitter on this road trip. Molina leading Major League Baseball with 13 RBIs in base-loaded situations. Goes to right field with this one. Fukudome makes the play. And Brendan Ryan will come to the plate. Brendan's had a good road trip, batting .556. And Ryan, of course, tied a career high with 4 hits and 3 runs on Thursday at San Diego. Also had his first home run. The 6th multi-hit game of the year. Well, maybe he's beginning to battle out of it. He's back over the Mendoza line at 203.
He said he wants to hit his weight. Now he's listed at 195. Probably weighs a little bit more than that now. He says, I just, rule number 1, get over my weight. And you know, he's nice to have in the lineup. He brings a certain energy and flair that really the other Cardinal players don't have the same thing that he has. And of course his defense is outstanding. And sometimes he'll drive you nuts with some of the ways he plays, some of the things he says. I mean, he's his own worst enemy sometimes, but very talented player.
There's a strike. 2-1. Pop foul.
Cardinals really need for Yadier Molina and Brendan Ryan to contribute. Going into action yesterday, the Cardinals in the bottom third of the order, lowest in Major League Baseball in terms of production. Yadi's had a rough last month, and we know what Brendan Ryan's done.
This is out into short right.
Too much of that.
Terrio, 2 away. Wainwright will come to the plate, batting .111. this is popped up into left. And coming in, Soriano makes the play. The Birds go down 1-2-3. There you see the flags out in center field. Redbirds lead 1-0.
2 outs, bottom of the ninth. The pitcher checks the runner at first. It's a 1-run game. The count is 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Hit in the air, deep to right field. Gone!
Bring the ballpark home. The same soft, warm, and delicious Super Pretzel you enjoy at the game, you can also have at home. Available in your grocer's freezer. Super Pretzel. Bring it home.
It's time to put Lincoln on your radar. Because the Lincoln MKX and MKZ have quality that can't be beat by their Lexus, Acura, or BMW competitors. Lincoln has earned more 5-star ratings than any other luxury brand, and every Lincoln has heated and cooled front seats and sync technology standard. Now, get 0% financing for 60 months on your choice of Lincoln MKX or Lincoln MKZ. Visit your Midwest Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
My mama told me one day you'll understand. It takes more than 5 runs to be a man. That's why I'm a Cardinals fan. I got a quarter in my pocket, and it's time to get her done. We're gonna hoop and holler till we get 6 runs. Call 6 is a serious number.
When the Cards score 6, drinks are only a quarter the next day at On the Run.
6 is a serious number.
Visit a St. Louis area Great Clips near you. At participating salons, kids 8 to 13 can register for the chance to join the Cardinals on the field as a 2010 honorary Cardinals bat boy or bat girl. Make sure to stop in by June 25th to get the sweepstakes code you'll need to register online or via text.
Follow the Cardinals every Sunday morning at 10. The Sunset Ford Cardinal Nation Show. 30 minutes of in-depth stories, interviews, and features. That's the Sunset Ford Cardinal Nation Show right here on your home for Cardinal Baseball, News Channel 5. It'll be Ramirez, Bird, and Soriano. Second inning, 1-0 St. Louis. Ramirez. He has really been struggling, and as Rick mentioned, of course, he has that strained left thumb. Fontenot played third here yesterday and had those 2 triples, but he's batting only 164. He has hit 275 lifetime against Wainwright. It's a little wide. I said 275. I meant 375. He's hit very well against Wainwright. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Probably the reason he's in the lineup today.
Yeah.
Sore thumb and all, and the way Fontenot's been swinging the bat. Cubs have another guy on the bench, named Tyler Colvin, who's also swinging well, and he can't find a spot to play because he's an outfielder, and all 3 Cubs are producing offensively in the outfield.
2-2 the count to Soriano, 34 years old, from the Dominican Republic, 7-time All-Star. Into right field on the run. Ludwig. Did he come up with it? No, he trapped it. Boy, what an effort. What an effort. The first base umpire, Dan Bellino, down the line, made the call.
Well, there's no argument from the Cardinals as Ludwig, who's been the best defensive outfielder the Cardinals have this year, does trap the ball. It hits the ground, bounces up. He's able to get the glove on top of it to smother the ball to make sure it doesn't go to the wall, but he does what you're supposed to do. Raise it up, act like you caught it. Maybe you trick somebody every once in a while.
Try and sell it, right?
Exactly. That's a great play by Ludwig. He's been outstanding in right field. It's been fun to watch him elevate his game in the outfield.
Marlon Byrd hitting .303, a strike on the corner. Byrd grew up in Georgia, went to Georgia Tech. While he was there, he had an injury to his right leg and a terrible infection that almost took him away from baseball forever. Had to have 3 operations to get his leg back to the point where it was able to carry the blood and everything that was needed for him to be able to play again.
And speaking of leg operations, how about that news from Anaheim, where Kendry Morales had a game-winning grand slam yesterday, and as he jumped on home plate and his teammates kind of mobbed him, he actually broke his leg in the celebration, and he's going to be out for a couple of months. And he's their best player, and the great celebration of that moment was really frustrating for those Angels players.
That shot just fouled down the left side. Mike Scioscia, the manager, Los Angeles, saying that we're going to have to reevaluate how we celebrate from now on.
Well, there's some old school people that would like that to be reevaluated for other reasons.
Sure.
But certainly the health of the player, and it's just too bad for the Angels, who've had some rough luck this year. Look at the Cardinals defense. Pretty much straight up in the outfield for Bird.
Bird was with Texas last year. Can play all of the outfield positions.
The other news, Jay, we should mention around the National League was the perfect game for Roy Halladay.
Absolutely. The 20th perfect game in the history of Major League Baseball. 1-0 over the Marlins.
And we've had 2 in 2010, which is very odd. You don't see a lot of perfect games.
No, indeed. I'm reminded I only saw one.
Which one did you see?
I think I was mustering out of the service in New Jersey. Got a ticket to see the Yankees.
You saw that? I did not know you.
Don Larson's perfect game. 2-2 the count. And a little bleeder. Ryan, nice play. Ramirez on to second.
Well, that's one of those little nubbers that sometimes can cause havoc if a player does not make the play, not hit hard, right in between everybody, but Ryan charges hard, throws off balance to get Bird by a step. I wouldn't call that a hard play, but he made it look a little easier than it was.
Here's Soriano, who signed with the Cubs in November of '06. Been on the DL 4 times in his career. Batting .301. That's wide.
Soriano, like Derek Lee, sitting on 299 career home runs, and a totally different kind of batting style for Soriano. We showed you how Lee was open, Soriano is closed to start his stance, and when the ball starts coming in, he too squares up.
He has 9 home runs this season. A little low, 3-0.
He has a wide stance and a closed stance, and closed means his front foot is closer to the plate than his back foot is. But as the ball comes towards him, he will redirect that foot more straight onto the pitcher. Curveball almost hits him in the coconut.
So runners at first and second with 1 out for Giovanni Soto. Soto did not play yesterday. He was ill. They didn't specify exactly what the problem was, but he's back in there today. A strike on the outside corner. Strike 2. Soto is 27. He's from Puerto Rico. He was bothered by an oblique strain last year. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He had such an outstanding season in 2008. He had 285.
Yeah. Rookie of the year, wasn't he?
86 RBIs, you bet. And then last year just really struggled. You mentioned the strain, hit just 218 for the Cubs.
Down he goes. Strikeout number 2. Well, that will leave it up to the young shortstop, Starlin Castro. This kid is quite a young talent. Batting .300. He's 20 years old, from the Dominican. And for a strike. He batted .301 in 238 minor league games. You get a good look at him. He looks like he's about 15.
You know, it is interesting to watch a young player like this. You know, we all know some 20-year-olds. Yeah. Try to imagine them being in the pressure of being in the big leagues and living the life and traveling the way they do and answering questions and dealing with the pressures and all the stuff that a big leaguer deals with. Of course, it's a great job to have. Nobody's complaining, but I mean, how mature can you be when you're 20?
Well, it's not easy to play in this town either. The scrutiny here is a very high level. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up the middle. Here comes Ramirez. The throw is not in time. Yes, it is. Whoa! He got him on the back just before he touched the plate. What a terrific play. First of all, a throw from Jay, but then what a terrific play by Yadier Molina.
Strong throw by John Jay, and Yadier Molina digs it out of the dirt, tags the back. Good call.
In every friendly little competition, right behind you, there's a winner and a loser. A runner-up, second best, the one who fell a bit short.
Thank you.
Our friends at BMW know exactly how this feels. Experience our winning lineup at your local Audi dealer today.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Dad. Check out these calculators. Cool. Checklists.
Videos.
Articles.
Worksheets.
Tips.
Strategies.
They got tools.
Tools. One website to help you
Save a little money. Make a plan.
Stay on budget.
Put some money in the bank.
This will help me
get your act together.
Oh.
Yeah.
stay on top of bills.
Have some breathing room.
Reduce taxes.
This is how we can
get ahead of it. Get started at bankofamerica.com/solutions.
Perfect.
A Steak and Shake burger tastes different because it's fresh.
There's a love that marinates in your mouth.
4 meals under $4, that's a good deal.
Your favorite steak burger meals and even chicken fingers. 4 meals under $4. Steak and Shake. Life needs flavor.
Welcome back to the Budweiser Thirst Inning. A lot of the fans here enjoying their Bud on a very warm Sunday afternoon. Speaking of Bud, our Bud, the voice of the Cardinals, Mike Shannon, joins me here. What a play by Molina, huh?
Very
nice throw from Jay, but what a play.
He has his second assist already. He's only been out there a few times.
Mike,
Jay.
they're enjoying the brew here today.
I love that thirst inning, don't you?
Absolutely.
And what a beautiful day here. Here's the play by John Jay, the Cardinal center fielder, to keep this game in the Cardinals' favor. Glove, quick couple of steps, and a throw on one hop to Yachty, and he makes the tag as he catches him going by. Got him, just nipped him on the back there.
Very quick reaction by Molina to make that play.
Well, he's such a good player back there. He got him though. Tagged him on the back as he went by. See him? Just hit him there.
Schumacher, Ludwig, and Pujols as we go to the third. Low for a ball.
Pitching and defense is the name of this game, and you just saw it in that inning, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing like Wrigley Field, is there, Jay?
No, it's
older than us. That's really good.
That is good. that is good. But it's a very special place, no question about that.
And they've made a lot of improvements here in the last couple of years.
Yes. The Ricketts family, the new owners of this team.
Think they'll ever tear this thing down?
I don't know if anybody will let them. Up the middle. Nice shot by Schumacher. Here's Ludwig, and Rick was making the comment that he's recently hit so many balls on the nose, but right at somebody. You know?
Yeah, they'll even out though. You keep hitting it on the button, and they'll even out for you for sure. But boy, this guy's a good, everyday, steady ball player, Ryan Ludwig. He is a good one, and he's a very good outfielder also. He's had good success against Dempster, 8 out of 19 with a home run coming in. Lied out his first time.
That's in the upper deck.
Nice play by a fan. They have some fun here, don't they?
They sure do.
The Windy City. Nothing like it. We have a great vantage point here. We can see the lake from here, Lake Michigan.
Rooftops over there.
That's a high rent district there, James.
Yes, sir.
Those are the ones we just walk by or ride by. How you folks?
Just wave at them.
Right. How you folks? Ah, what a wonderful day. The governor was here. We've got a great program going on to help the men and women in the service. Remember what tomorrow's all about, folks.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have some pregame festivities at Busch Stadium as we take on Cincinnati. It'll be a battle for first place in that series.
Starting the day, the Reds 2 up on the Cardinals in the Central. Cincinnati and Houston are playing, and they're in the 7th inning in a scoreless game at Cincinnati.
They hit 6 home runs yesterday, that Reds club. They're leading the league in home runs. They're leading the league in the average. They've just been smoking the pea.
Well, you can hit some home runs in that ballpark, Mike.
It's a bandbox.
1 ball and 2 strikes. In the dirt. Nice stop.
Very nice by Soto. This is our 3rd sellout up here, all standing room only games.
A very tough ticket. Not quite as tough as the tickets to the Game 1 of the Stanley Cup last night. Some people were paying $7,500 for a seat there.
That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
That's ridiculous. Well, these seats here, the regular price, the box seats are $90. I don't know what they are. You can get some of those all-inclusive tickets at Busch Stadium for they start at $72. That's a great
value. You get all the food and drink you need, and
nice seats. I like that Champions Club.
Yeah.
Wow. You can go inside, outside. They got big screen TV, lounge around.
Ryan Dempster coming with the 2-2 offering. Fouled away.
There's some tickets left for the game tomorrow on the Cincinnati series. Be nice to get home, won't it, Jay?
Yeah, this has been a rugged trip for the club.
It's a big game. You win this game, you're 3-3 on the trip.
Exactly.
And face some tough pitching, including here today with Dempster.
3 against Cincinnati, a day off Thursday, and 3 against Milwaukee. Full count.
Now, you want to manage? Do you start the run? Leading 1-0 here in the 3rd inning. Man at first, no one out. Ludwig got the plate. He doesn't strike out that much. I'd start it. Let's see what Tony La Russa does.
Schumacher is going, and a strikeout, and the throw. He is safe.
You see, the pitcher got rid of the ball quickly. The catcher had it quick enough, but the throw down there was low. Tell you, there's so many things that can go wrong when you use the running game, and it's a stolen base for the shoe man, his 2nd of the year.
That's his 2nd stolen base. Here's that home run from Albert back in the 1st, and it was a boomer out onto Waveland Avenue.
Well, they're going to act like they're going to pitch to him anyway. It'll be interesting to see if they do it.
Foul away upstairs.
One thing about Albert, he'll swing at that so-so pitch just to make him work to it. That might be the closest one he gets. Although Dempster will come after you. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fold the tent.
He's a very competitive guy. I originally got to know him when he was with the Marlins, of course.
Albert's hit 3 home runs against him. He comes in. He's now 12 out of 47 with 3 homers.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, great pictures, huh? It's fun. We get to have both. We can be here at the ballpark and get all of that atmosphere, and we still get to watch it on TV. Have to work, though.
You can't beat it.
Boy, this is hard work, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
like Jay Jr. says, one of these days you and I are going to have to get real jobs.
No. Hey, we've had too many of those already.
Yep.
That old lunch pail.
2 balls and a strike.
Guys in the truck now, they never work.
Careful. Don't get them on your bad side now.
Yeah, but they know it. He's going to walk it.
3-1. Here we are, high above the Friendly Confines, huh?
Well, the working conditions aren't here. They're not the best.
No, but the folks at home don't care about that.
And the atmosphere we have is just phenomenal here at Wrigley Field. If you've never been here, you've got to come up for a Cardinal Cub game.
And the walk.
So
the first pass issued by Dempster. Join News Channel 5 for this year's Coleman St. Louis Race for the Cure. There's still time to sign up for the June 12th race. Visit KSDK.com. You can help in the fight against breast cancer.
What do you think this conversation is going to be about? As Lou comes hustling out there, put a clock on him, man. That's about a 35-second stroll. And he's going to just talk to Dempster, I think. He's going to say, now, look, boy.
Mr. Piniella is now 66 years old. Like Tony La Russa, born in Tampa. They played kid baseball against one another. Lou was a fine player. 291 lifetime batting average in the majors.
Great player. Played in those good Yankee teams.
And brought the Reds a World Series championship in 1990.
Started out in Kansas City, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm reminded he was the Rookie of the Year in Kansas City a long time ago.
So he has a little stroll back to the dugout.
There's Tony La Russa.
Yeah, they played with and against each other in high school.
Right. Tony enjoyed the Stanley Cup Game 1 last night.
Well, that was a wild game. 5 goals in the first period.
A lot of offense, or as they would say, offense. Holiday singled in the first. 2 on and 1 out. Cardinals leading 1-0. Down to third. The play made there and across the diamond for the double play. That snuffs out the rally. It's 1-0 St. Louis.
How can style this hot be so affordable? Because Ashley designs, builds, and delivers it. You save with Ashley Direct Prices. Plus, at the Ashley Furniture Home Store Memorial Day event, choose special savings like this stunning sofa for only $3.99 or this stylish queen bed also only $3.99. Plus, up to 48 months, no interest this Memorial Day. Visit us in Poplar Bluff and Jackson.
Coleman Roads, take some home. Vince Denson orphans that you can own. In West Frankfort, there's a mountain of savings. Take some home from Coleman Roads that might be scratched, maybe discontinued too.
Sorry if it's dents and orphans ends the 21st of June, so take some home from Coleman Roads.
We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
This Ford F-150 is yours for a week.
It's gorgeous. I like the hands-free phone. Call Emily.
You know, the F-150 has best-in-class towing and payload.
The power was there. The stability was there.
Well, I've done some homework on you. You're a Chevy guy.
Not any longer. I'm done.
Swap your ride and get a built Ford Tough F-150 with 0% financing or up to $7,000 in total savings.
Time for an upgrade.
Let's do it. Can I have the keys?
Nope.
All right.
Weeknights starting at 5 on My 49.
Cardinals Care Jerseys Off Our Backs Day is Saturday, June 5th. Fans who make a $1 donation to Cardinals Care receive a scratch-off ticket, and every ticket's a winner. The grand prize is a game-worn jersey signed for you on the field by a current Cardinals player. Remember, that's coming up on June the 5th.
Yeah, they play the game, and then they'll take the jerseys off and sign it and give it to you. Pretty good promotion, isn't it? I know a person that was lucky enough to get one.
Yes, sir. Here's Dempster. He's been a pretty decent hitter over his career. He's batting .250 this season.
Good athlete, this guy.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Wouldn't expect him to do anything against Wainwright, though, as good as he is. See if he'll wrinkle one up here for him now.
Wind's picking up just a little bit, Mike, to left field. When Albert hit his, it was very light, but it is picking up a bit.
His is going out of any park, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think it hit on the other side of Waveland. I mean,
it might have gone out of Fairmount Park. So you'll be over there tomorrow at Fairmount, huh,
That's
Jenny?
right. We have
Memorial Day
racing tomorrow as this goes down to Freeze. The long throw on target.
And then, of course, this Saturday we have the Belmont, correct?
Yes, watch and wager on the Belmont Stakes, the third jewel of the Triple Crown.
You have a radio show in St. Louis discussing horse racing.
Saturday morning. This coming Saturday morning at 9 on 590.
What do you call that?
It's called the Belmont Preview.
So in other words, you're going to preview the Belmont, huh? That's a good name. You ought to name it. That's a real good name.
Well, our good friend Doug Nackman and I get together and we try to help the folks a little bit.
A little knowledge, huh?
Fukudome flied to center field in the first inning. This fella had a great career in Japan, of course. He's from Osaka.
Isn't that industrial city right outside of Tokyo? Osaka?
I believe it's an industrial city. I'm not quite sure where it's situated, but you, of course,
yeah, we were
over there. You played ball over there in '68, right?
Yeah, we went over there after the '68 World Series. Boy, those are Japanese players that made some great progress, haven't they?
Yeah, well, this fella, he led the Japanese league in average and runs scored on 2 occasions.
As soon as Ichiro got out of there, huh?
Yep.
Ichiro be in St. Louis. We play Seattle.
Looking forward to seeing him in person. I mean,
he's a heck of a player.
He truly is one of the legendary players from the land of the rising sun. 2-2 the count.
Well, they have all kinds of coverage over there. Baseball. In fact, they cover
over here.
Yeah, they cover over here. They'll send 8, 10, 12 folks in the media business to cover one of the Japanese players and cover him the whole season, like Fukudome here.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Pop foul.
This is one of the busiest ballparks in the world. Constant motion. Tough sun field out and right. No clouds today, although we have a few that are just coming in from the west now. The wind is still blowing from the right field pole towards the left field pole. Doesn't matter which
Down
way.
he goes.
Doesn't matter which way the wind's blowing when that ball gets in on your hands like that. His third K. Phew, watch where this pitch is, right in on his hands.
Hard to handle that.
Well, not only is it hard to handle, Jay, but to hit it fair, you've got to wait so long and then get the big end of the barrel out there.
Here's Terrio.
Great effective pitch when it's right in on your hand.
Terrio grounded out in the first inning. Terrio played at LSU, was on their national championship team back in 2000. Won the College World Series in Omaha.
So that College World Series is going on right now, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think the preliminary games, they're not in Omaha yet, I don't believe, but to the right side, and a 2-out single for Terrio. Sunday is game day on News Channel 5. Join us the 13th as the Cardinals will be in Arizona to face the Diamondbacks. The Window World Cardinals game day preview comes your way at 2:30, and the Cards and the Diamondbacks getting together June 13th on your home for Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. Derek Lee takes a strike. Lee struck out in the first inning.
This guy has started to get hot. He came into this game 8 hits in his last 16 at bats.
Yeah, here's a fella that I mean, you look at that 241 average right now, and you just shake your head because you know what a tremendous player he's been over the years.
And then look at Ramirez hitting a $164 when he started today.
Yeah. Deep in the hole, Ryan across the diamond in time.
He can play.
Very nice play. The Redbirds have the lead here at Wrigley Field, 1-0.
Baseball fans, make your next game day part of a great getaway in historic St. Charles, Missouri. Just a short drive west of Busch Stadium, St. Charles offers the safety and value of a smaller city, but with nightlife and attractions that really measure up. She'll love the specialty shops and restaurants along Main Street. You'll enjoy Bass Pro or a handcrafted beer at Trailhead Brewing Company. To plan your game day getaway, visit historicstcharles.com. Shop, dine, stay, play. Discover St. Charles, Missouri.
Can you imagine the game played on anything less than the most beautiful grass you've ever seen? Neither can we. Scott's, official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Dad, check out these calculators. Cool. Checklists. Videos.
Articles.
Worksheets.
Tips.
Strategies?
They got tools.
Tools. One website to help you
Save a little money. Make a plan.
Stay on budget.
Put some money in the bank.
This will help me
get your act together.
Oh.
Yeah.
stay on top of bills.
Have some breathing room.
Reduce taxes.
This is how we can
Get ahead of it. Get started at bankofamerica.com/solutions.
Perfect.
Here's Brendan Ryan. What a play in a moment ago.
Well, this guy has such unbelievable range. We'll give you a look at this play now. His play is so deep. He's on the grass before he starts. Look where he is in the hole. Then he takes his time because he knows who's running. But this guy has more range than any shortstop I've ever seen. I mean, by a great margin, too. Now, you know, Jay, we've won 2 games on this trip. He started both of those games. I think he's a spark plug for this team.
Rick said the same thing earlier in our telecast, and I have to agree with both of you.
He's just one of those kind of guys.
He's one of those guys that turns people on around him.
Exactly right.
David Freese, John Jay, and Yadier Molina. Freese singled in the first.
this kid's off to a great start. I mean, David Freese has hit wherever he's played, but he's also played very well at third base. He got off to a little shaky start, but he's settled down, and he's a good everyday player. He didn't start in the game here yesterday. It's the first game that he didn't start all season long. He played every inning up until yesterday. What's he do? He comes out and gets a hit his first time up.
That catches the corner, and that is strikeout number 3. Well, what's on tap for you? Presented by Budweiser tomorrow. 2:30, the coverage on Fox Sports Midwest. Game 1 of the 3-game series against the Cincinnati Red Stockings. Here's John Jay. He struck out in the first.
See, he's trying to pitch him inside. Usually when a rookie comes to the big leagues, they want to find out if he can hit the fastball. So they try him with that fastball and usually inside. If he can hit it there, then they'll start with the breaking stuff. But you're going to have to show him that you can hit the fastball up here, or they're going to try to knock the bat out of your hands. There's the change. See, he threw that fastball inside, and then he tried to trick the kids. Very good change. Great motion on it. This is what makes it. It looks like a fastball coming out, but then the bottom falls out of it. And he comes right back with a fastball inside on him, fouls it off. Now he's very vulnerable to the off-speed stuff again.
Jay with a fine throw back in the second inning, and terrific play by Molina to tag Ramirez crossing the plate.
There he goes, trying with the off-speed stuff. He's already established a fastball in there, okay? So that's in the mind of the hitter. When they throw that fastball inside, and they get it in there, that guy in your head, he's saying, fastball, inside.
The 2-2.
Then they get you with the curve like that.
And that's strikeout number 4.
I mean, it sounds so easy, it looks so easy, but when you have the motion, now watch the motion. Boom, looks like a fastball, right? No, it's a change, and then the bottom falls out of it to boot.
Here's Molina. He flied to right to start the second.
Looks easy from here, doesn't it? But up there, it's different.
That's Terrio, and he throws out Molina. And the Cardinals go quietly here in the 4th. 1-0 St. Louis.
Hey, Jimmy, how's it going?
You know, just sitting back watching the newcomers. Don't go near the light. Oh, darn.
We keep telling them there's a better way to get struck by lightning. Just go to Lady Luck.
Nifty restaurant, too.
It's Power Hour at Lady Luck Casino, Caruthersville, every Monday and Tuesday in May and June. You can win up to $250 in the 6 and 8 p.m. hours. Plus, lightning strikes again with a $1,000 cash drawing in the 9 p.m. hour.
That just means more apple pie from me.
I'm Heather, and this is my family at home. We talk, we laugh together, and above all, we love one another. The same goes for my family at work. We help them with all of life's daily activities like personal care and housekeeping. You see, we work for Delta New Hope and Home Services. We help preserve your dignity and independence so you can stay in your own home. Ask us today about benefits for veterans and their surviving spouses, as well as our Healthy Youth and Children program. Delta New Hope and Home Services, we bring home peace of mind.
We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
This Ford F-150 is yours for a week.
It's gorgeous. I like the hands-free phone. Call Emily.
You know, the F-150 has best-in-class towing and payload.
The power was there. The stability was there.
Well, I've done some homework on you. You're a Chevy guy.
Not any longer. I'm done.
Swap your ride and get a built Ford Tough F-150 with 0% financing or up to $7,000 in total savings.
Time for an upgrade.
Let's do it. Can I have the keys?
Nope.
All right.
Bernson hung up on a fence.
I thought I was gonna die.
A case so bizarre, you'll just have to sit back and watch.
Shit!
Law and Order: Criminal Intent.
Monday at 7 on My 49.
This portion of Cardinals baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Bank of America. Get Cardinals banking only from Bank of America. Get started at banking centers or go to bankofamerica.com/Cardinals. By the Dave Sinclair Automotive Group, a proud sponsor of Cardinals baseball. And by McDonald's. Get 50 hot, crispy chicken McNuggets for just $99.99. Only at McDonald's.
You know, I'm the Big Mac king. You know that. I've been presented with that from Colleen Changes.
I understand that Colleen has made you the Big Mac man.
That's right. When Big Mac left as a player, they needed another man. I got it by default.
Ramirez leads it off. It was nice to see Colleen. She's here this weekend. And
great Changes family, huh? Wow.
Red's wonderful daughter.
Red and Mary, they've done a great job.
Yeah. That's foul into the seats.
How come you wouldn't go to the movie with me last night?
Well, I just I'm glad that you were able to go. In fact, I'd like a quick review from you. Thumbs up or thumbs down on Sex in the City 2.
Oh, it was very, very good. There's some great surprises in it for the people that follow that show. And this is movie number 2, as Jennings told you. But there's a lot of comedy in it. I mean, there's some really good laughs.
Well,
so if your wife or your girlfriend wants you to go, take a chance. Take a chance.
There's a resounding thumbs up from Mike Shannon.
Very good. You'll enjoy it. I will guarantee it.
That's outside. One ball and 2 strikes.
You need a little background on it, though, so you just don't go out of the, have your wife or your girlfriend or some friend give you a little background.
On proceedings. Huh?
Correct, yes.
Strikeout. That's number 4.
Tell you, Wainwright has a fastball. I think more of his fastball, than he does of his fastball. He's got such a great curveball that it's very easy to fall in love with that thing. But I'm going to tell you something, this guy's got a really good fastball. He gets it up there in the low 90s, and it has movement, and he can usually throw it where he wants to, like he did getting Ramirez. I mean, he painted that outside corner, didn't he?
Yes, here's Bird, who grounded out in the 2nd inning.
Another one. He gets it up there in the low 90s, and it's right on the corner. It's so difficult for me to explain how hard that ball is to hit. Now, he throws one down the middle, and they'll turn it around. But when it's out there or inside, look at that. He just took a little off, and it was sinking. Look at the range by that shortstop. Unbelievable. Look where he is in the outfield. And then he has to hustle back to cover second because the second baseman was backing up the play at first.
This day in history presented by our friends at Commerce Bank. Cliff Heathcote and Max Flack traded by the Cards to the Cubs between games of a doubleheader. And both of them collected hits in the nightcap.
Those are the old days.
Yes, sir.
Make those deals when they had doubleheaders.
1922. Soriano. I did a few doubleheaders in this ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I had a row with Leo DeRocher one day between the two of them. A shot into left. And this goes to the ivy.
A good relay will get him now if they send him.
Bird holds on at third. It's a double for Soriano.
Okay, this lineup is so good from top to bottom. Very, very good. Take a look now. We talked about the fastball and getting it where you want. Well, he got that one up, and it was right in his wheelhouse. And then you see the runner going all the way over to third. Makes it easily over there. Now you have second and third. Not only is the shutout in danger, but the lead also in danger. He's got the latter part of the lineup, but Soto's a good hitter, and so is Castro. He has a base open, so he can be careful to Soto. And if he walks him, he's still going to have the 8th place hitter and then the pitcher. So he could try to make a perfect pitch here. If not, just let him walk. This guy's dangerous, though. You make a mistake, and he can hurt you. I think he's going to.
2 balls and no strikes.
He's walked one. That was Soriano back in the 2nd inning. And he'll be very careful with Soto here. Might try to throw him a high fastball, see if he'll try to swing at that out of the zone. Let's see how they're going to do it. They're going with a breaking ball out there. It's a dangerous place with the wind blowing out, Wrigley Field.
Bird down there at third. Soriano at second. In for a strike.
The 3-0 is automatic, and the 0-2 is automatic in this business of late.
There's the walk. That is the second issued by Wainwright. Before work or before school, join News Channel 5's Art Holiday and Jennifer Blome for St. Louis's favorite weekday morning show, Today in St. Louis. You get the latest news, traffic, and weather. Today in St. Louis, beginning at 4:30 a.m. right here on News Channel 5. Well, here's the youngster, the shortstop, Starlin Castro. He's singled back in the second. The base is loaded. Bottom of the fourth inning, Cardinals leading 1-0.
I'd go for a 1-2-3 at BP, wouldn't you?
On the ground.
About a 6-4-3.
6-4-3 it is. Double play. And that ends a big threat by the Cubs.
It's understood that if you get up to get a Budweiser, you come back with a round. How you carry that round is a matter of personal preference. There's the six-pack Strangler, the St. Bernard, the Flock of Geese, the Marsupial, the Sherpa, the Claw, even the more advanced Labrador Retriever. But we always come back with a beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
The reasons to sign up for My Choice keep on building. In fact, if you join now, your next home could be on the house. Presenting the McBride & Son home giveaway at River City and Lumiere Place casinos. You could win a house worth $250,000 or one of 16 total room makeovers. You can play to increase your chances, but no gaming is required to win. Over $500,000 in cash and prizes await. So visit River City and Lumiere Place casinos today.
This is John Chicker for Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. Life doesn't stop when your vehicle needs service. That's why we now offer Life in the Quick Lane. Life in the Quick Lane with convenient evening and weekend hours. We service all makes and models with oil changes, tires, alignments, brakes, shocks, state inspections, and more. No appointment necessary. Quick expert service while you wait. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. Just minutes south of Highways 40 and 44 on South Kings Highway at McMahon Ford.
We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
We swapped your car for the week. What? It's a Ford Escape. Really? Yeah. I really like the parallel parking. Oh my goodness, it's doing it.
Your car's been swapped for a week. It's a Ford Edge.
It has all kinds of features my Equinox does not have. The Vista roof. Call Dad. Call Dad. Love that.
Get up to $2,000 cash back or 0% financing on Escape. Visit your quality Ford dealers today.
I feel edgy.
Very clever.
The Cardinals are having a fantasy day at the ballpark Thursday, June the 3rd, featuring Jack Clark and Mike Matheny and Hall of Famer Whitey Herzog and other former Cardinal players, including my partner. It benefits the St. Louis Area Fellowship of Christian Athletes, their summer camp programs. The camps include football, lacrosse, leadership camps. They run through June and July to help St. Louis area young people and coaches. For more information and to register to play with the Cardinals in fantasy camp, call the St. Louis FCA at 636-827-7100 or visit stlouisfca.org. Rick, you and your folks do a remarkable job with those programs.
Well, thank you, Jay. I work with some great people. We have wonderful staff, and we reach about 6,000 kids and their coaches throughout the summer in the greater St. Louis area, and it's just a spectacular group of people to be associated with and involved with them for nearly 25 years.
Well, very hard work, but very rewarding work for you.
You bet.
Brendan Ryan popped out back in the second inning. He'll lead it off here as we move to the fifth inning. The Redbirds are leading 1-0. Houston at Cincinnati. They are in the bottom of the eighth inning, scoreless there. Ryan looked like he might be thinking about bunting. It's 3 balls and a strike. And a walk to start it here in the fifth.
That'll work.
That is the fourth pass given up by Dempster. Wainwright looking down at Oquendo. Adam popped out to left in the second inning.
I would be extraordinarily surprised if Adams not bunting. I don't care how good a hitter he is. I'm sure Jose gave him the sign for a toque in Spanish for bunt.
And it's ball one. Toque?
Toque.
Toque. Yeah. I forget you're bilingual as well. You're amazing.
Well, I forget it sometimes too. I'll talk with Jose. We'll have a conversation, and all of a sudden I just don't understand a word he's saying. Then all of a sudden it comes back.
The runner's going, a swing, and ball goes into center field. And here comes Ryan to third. It's a stolen base.
They'll probably give this error to the catcher Soto as it's a hit and run, but this is a catchable ball by Castro as he has to deal with Brendan Ryan sliding into him at third, but that may end up being an error on Castro. That was not that bad a throw by Soto. I don't think he was going to get Ryan anyway, as the Cardinals changed from toque to hit and run. That's what they say in Spanish, hit and run.
They haven't ruled on it yet. The infield is pulled in now, and here's a little shot out to the shortstop. One away. They're the most accurate weather team, you know, in St. Louis. Cindy Pressler and Scott Connell, Mike Robertson, Anthony Slaughter. They've won the Weather Rate Seal of Approval 6 straight years. The Weather Plus weather team, only on News Channel 5.
Official score is giving the error to Giovanni Soto, Cubs catcher. That's his first error of the season. That might change.
Well, we'll watch that because it could change. Here is a fly ball into left. Soriano gets it, and they're going to hold Ryan. Look out.
Well, Skip Schumacher does not hit the ball deep enough to be a sacrifice fly. And Jay, look at the sacrifice flies in terms of least in the National League. The Cardinals with just 5 on the season. Some teams that are leading the league are over 20, and the Cardinals have only been able to get 5 sacrifice flies successfully this season. That means they're not driving the ball in this situation with less than 2 outs and a runner at third. That's a shame.
Trying to take advantage of a walk, a stolen base, and an error. Ryan down there at third, 2 out now for Ludwig. He's flied to center and struck out.
I think Ryan is out if he goes. I don't think he had any chance of being safe. It was not hit deeply enough. Soriano gets a lot of outfield assists, partly because he's not a very good outfielder and people run on him, but he's got a fairly strong arm, and he got it in a hurry.
1 ball and 1 strike. They are now through 8 innings at Cincinnati, scoreless. Up the middle, 2-0 St. Louis. RBI number 24 for Ludwig.
Oh, he's the guy you want up in that situation with 2 outs. He's second in the National League with hitting with runners in scoring position, and he comes through again, a line drive right up the box, and Brendan Ryan eventually does score. That would have been a kind of a backbreaker for the Cardinals to have him at third with nobody out and not get him in.
Here's Albert, hit a gigantic home run out on Waveland Avenue in left in the first, walked in the third. We tried to get the distance on that home run, Rick, and they informed us that they don't do distances when the ball is hit that far. I guess they can't measure it once it goes over the stands there or something. I don't know.
Well, they can. They just don't want to. Okay. Because that's all done with the cameras and the geometry and
lasers and
lasers
whatever,
and yeah. They just don't want to.
Well, it was a blast, I'll tell you that. If you missed it, check the highlights out. It was a blast.
We can send a man to the moon. We can find out how long that home run was.
Ludwig is 0 for 3 in the stolen base department this year. One ball and one strike. First final of the afternoon. Toronto, playing at home, has defeated Baltimore 6-1. One ball and 2 strikes.
Dempster doesn't do that little movement with his glove with a runner on base because he's working out of the stretch and he's got to be quick to the plate. That little flick of the glove, we're told, has been developed by Dempster to disguise when he's going to throw a splitter, because he'd been tipping his pitches early in his career.
Ooh, good stop by Soto there. That's a statistic that surprises you a little bit when it comes to Albert.
Been so good with 2 strikes in his career. I think it's because he's expanded his zone just a little bit too much this year.
Just gets a piece of that one.
Well, it's just a matter of time for Albert. My feeling about him is he's just still the best hitter on the planet, and sooner or later he's going to get locked in, and we're going to be watching Cardinal games and say, there he is, he's back. And you know what, he's not that far away. He's still hitting 300.
Here's the 2-2 again. Full count. At Florida, the Marlins defeat Philadelphia 1-0. After the no-hitter yesterday, the perfect.
Are we going back to the dead ball era and nobody told me?
Phillies having trouble scoring runs these days.
Couldn't score against the Mets. They're not scoring here. We've seen 2 perfect games. Cardinals have been a part of a couple of 1-0 games.
Now look where Lee is playing here at first. Payoff pitch. Runner goes foul, back to the screen. Dempster working very slowly this afternoon. I mentioned that early on.
You have to be on your toes as an outfielder here. You know the runner's going 3-2, and if the ball's hit in the gap, there's a chance that he'll be able to score. So you've got to be on your toes, ready to go get it.
Foul outside of third. Oquendo comes up with it, tosses it into the stands.
Very good form by Jose Oquendo.
Soto goes out to talk to Dempster.
Here's the gaps we're talking about in the outfield. There's plenty of room here in Chicago with the 3-2 pitch and Ludwig going. You better get to the ball in a hurry. Ludwig runs the bases pretty well. He doesn't steal bases well, but he runs the bases well. And Albert is such a gap hitter, you expect that he may come through again.
Here's another one. Is it going to stay fair? Yes, it's gone. Another booming shot out onto Waveland, and the Redbirds go up 4-0 here. Albert, like the weather, is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Woo.
Well, we've said that he will be here, and we'll say he's back at some moment. I don't know if he's back yet or not, but what an afternoon he's having here. Couple of home runs. That was home run number 11. RBIs 36 and 37. One-man wrecking crew today.
A 3-2 pitch. And boy, a couple of shots here at Wrigley this afternoon, and the Cub fans just sitting and looking at each other at this point in the proceedings. 36 career multi-home run game for Albert. Holiday has singled and grounded into a double play.
Anybody want to bet against him hitting a third one? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Fouled up on the roof. And here come the Seagulls off the roof. They didn't like that. And was he happy? He's happy too.
Not allowed to show it, though. You got to stay locked in.
Locked in.
There's the Seagulls. They were sitting up there quietly on the roof, and that foul ball hit on the roof and kind of agitated them a bit.
That's low. 2-2. Three runs home here in the fifth. 4-0 St. Louis. High chopper. Not in time. All this damage coming with 2 outs. The infield single for Holiday.
Holiday gets out of the box pretty quickly. He runs pretty well for a big man. He's got a few infield hits already this season. Ramirez did everything he could do to cut that ball off. It gets to the shortstop. They have no chance.
Freese has singled and struck out. Fouled off to the right.
David Freese is having a very nice season as a rookie third baseman. The All-Star balloting and numbers have been out. The numbers released on the 25th of May do not have him in the top 5 in the National League. The All-Star balloting, Placido Polanco, former Cardinal, leads there. Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina lead at first base and behind the plate. A lot of Phillies beyond that, Jay.
don't forget to get your ballots in. Individually, you can vote as many as 25 times. So vote early and often.
And not the first time that was said in the city of Chicago.
Or for that matter, in the hills of West Virginia.
Is that right? You know something I don't know, Jay?
Oh, boy.
I bet you do.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Out into right, and let's see if there's a play here. No.
Some folks may not know, Jay, the distinguished career of your father in the Congress from the great state of West Virginia. Very well
presidents, yes.
Very well respected man. And Jennings Randolph.
He did a lot of good. I don't think he'd be real happy what's going on in Washington these days, but that's another day, another story for another day, right?
You bet.
Now back to the screen.
People are happy about what's going on in Washington in terms of their baseball team, though. That team is
surprising a lot of people.
Done a lot under Jim Riggleman, former Cardinal minor league field director as well as a coach in the big leagues, and one of my favorite people in the game. I'm just happy that he's done such a nice job there, and they may see that #1 pick soon as well.
Yes, sometime in June they're saying, and they just keep coming out of the woodwork saying he's the real deal.
Steven Strasburg is who we're talking about, and he throws high 90s, has great off-speed pitches, and the Nationals are just hanging along in that Eastern Division. The Phillies on the top, as we see with the Flags, the Mets.
Fans booing here. Somebody made a bad play over here in the seats on that foul ball. That's low. Dempster touched up by Albert. 2 long shots to left.
Cardinals have really made him work this inning, haven't they?
Yes. Another fly into right. It'll be in the seats.
Freeze hanging tough.
There's the pitch count.
That's a ton of pitches.
Foul, yeah.
Working in his 5th inning. That's a lot of pitches for Dempster. You wouldn't imagine him being able to go more than 6. He is set to lead off for the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th.
Temperature in the mid-80s. And a full count to David Freese. That game tomorrow, remember, is at 3:15 at the stadium. Jaime Garcia against Bronson Arroyo. Game 1 of the series against the Reds. Hunter goes. Strikeout. That is number 5 in the strikeout department. We're going to show you both bombs off the bat of Albert. And the Redbirds have the lead here in Chicago. 4-0.
Hey, babe. Hey, Frank.
Hey, Dad. Check out these calculators. Cool. Checklists. Videos.
Articles.
Worksheets. Tips.
Strategies.
They got tools.
Tools. One website to help you
save a little money. Make a plan.
Stay on budget.
Put some money in the bank. This will help me
get your act together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stay on top of bills.
Have some breathing room.
Reduce taxes.
This is how we can
get ahead of it. Get started at bankofamerica.com/solutions.
Perfect.
Jack, you said you wanted a whole new breakfast item? I give you flapjacks.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if I'm comfortable with people eating my face. How about a grilled breakfast sandwich with eggs, bacon, ham, and cheese on artisan bread with our new Kona Classic coffee to make the perfect breakfast? Don't do it. Don't eat my face. Do not eat my...
You ate his face?
Once again, the competition is comparing themselves to the Accord. Nice to see them aiming so high.
Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer, or go to shophonda.com.
This portion of Cardinals baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Hardee's. Try the new grilled cheese bacon thick burger only at Hardee's. By Dave Munganast Lexus of St. Louis and Plaza Lexus. Unprecedented access means unprecedented values now through June the 1st. And by Fairmount Park. Party at the park every Friday night, and remember, live racing tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Fairmount. Let's go to Frank Cusimano.
Well, Jay, when we think about Adam Wainwright, we think about ERA. He's 9th in the league in that. We think about him gobbling up innings. He's 4th in the league in that. We don't think about strikeouts, but he's got 4 today in 4 innings. That means he has 24 strikeouts in his last 18 innings of work. He's off to a great start. Rick and Jay, back to you.
Thank you, Frank. And here is Dempster, who stays into the game. His club down 4-0. Bottom of the 5th. One hopper handled by Ryan.
And to Frank's point, I don't think Wainwright has ever been as good as he was in San Diego. He had 12 strikeouts in that game. And what we talked about in the Open was it wasn't just his curveball. It was how good his fastball was. He was working up in the zone, which is a great compliment to his curveball. If you can get kind of a high rising fastball, and he's really got the whole thing. There's the curveball that freezes Derek Lee a couple of times, and he didn't think they were strikes, but they were right down central. But the fastball is really setting up this curveball. If you've got a good fastball that freezes Ramirez as he does there, then the curveball is just that much harder to throw. And that was a big play there, double play 6-4-3 Castro to end the 4th.
Fukudome has flied to center and struck out. And I'm reminded, Rick, of course, that marvelous performance in San Diego, the temperature was about 58 degrees. And here it's about 84 right now, I would think. But
there's something about San Diego. The park is big. That's number one. But right. I don't know if it's supposed to be illegal to have a different size mound. But the mounds in San Diego always seem that they're about 2 inches higher than other mounds. I mean, it seems like you're throwing off the top of a mountain. And that was true back at Jack Murphy Stadium, and just something about that ballpark.
This one looks to be about right, but right back it goes to Wainwright. Adam throws on. Now get Cardinals banking only from Bank of America. You'll get the Cardinals logo on your debit card, credit card, and checks. Plus, get extra base rewards with every credit card purchase. Learn more at a banking center or bankofamerica.com/Cardinals.
This was actually one of my least favorite mounds in all of baseball because there really wasn't much of a landing space when you'd step back. This area right here just seemed to be very steep right off the back of the rubber, and I just didn't like that. I felt really uncomfortable. Your first step as a pitcher, you're going to make a little short step back, not a big step, but a short step. But if you go downhill there, Wainwright barely makes a step backwards. But for those pitchers that take a big step back, you want that to be on an even plane. You don't want it to be going downhill.
I'm reminded when the mounds were lowered, it was a Cardinal hurler who probably had more to do with that than anybody. Oh, look at this man field his position.
You're talking about Mr. Gibson, aren't you?
I am talking about Mr. Gibson. Rapid Robert. 5 innings, 4-0 St. Louis.
Miracle Ear is the #1 choice in hearing aids, trusted for over 60 years to make things right. Let people see the best in you. Nothing more, nothing less.
Call or visit your local authorized Miracle Ear location today for a free, no-obligation hearing test.
The wait is finally over. The 2011 Ford Super Duties have arrived at Lutzville Motor Company.
The all-new 6.7-liter diesel engine and the all-new 6.2-liter gas engines give the 2011 Ford Super Duty best-in-class fuel economy, torque, and horsepower. That's more towing, hauling, and drive.
We're also offering 0% financing for 60 months on select new 2010 Fords, like the fuel-efficient Ford Fusion and the sporty Ford Edge crossover.
Take that short drive to Lutzville Motor Company in Marble Hill.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Our top story Tuesday, our food show.
sooner you're treated for a stroke, the sooner we can help stop the damage from spreading. If you experience symptoms, dial 911. To learn if you're at risk for a stroke, visit Southeast Missouri Hospital at sehealthcheck.com.
We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
You got your Honda swapped for 1 week for this Ford Focus. This is awesome. The sync system, it does everything. This is the Ford Fusion. Oh, wow.
Did they tell you it was the 2010 Motor Trend Car of the Year?
No, I didn't know that. I love this car.
Get to the Ford Swap Your Ride sales event and get a Focus with 0% financing or $3,500 cash back.
So we kind of came between you and a Camry.
You did.
Together, some of the biggest voices in St. Louis. You got some big opinions, good or bad, right or wrong. They tell it like it is. See what everyone's talking about. Watch I'm Just Saying weeknights during News Channel 5 at 10. Well, a great day for ice cream, isn't it? Boy. Just a great day, period. What a beautiful afternoon here on the north side.
Interesting talking to a couple of the guards coming in. He said, you know, when you guys are here, it just feels different here at the ballpark.
Yeah,
and I told him, you know what? The same happens at Busch Stadium.
That's right. This is hit out to the warning track in right. Off the bat of John Jay. Handled out there by Fukudome. One away. Jay on the day is 0 for 3. Molina has flied to right and grounded out. Houston's been out a long time in the top of the 9th inning at Cincinnati. But it is a scoreless game in the Queen City. Two home runs by Albert. That's 45 on the year for the Redbirds. And here's another one into the upper deck. A reminder, the Redbirds coming home this evening. 3 with Cincinnati. That 3:15 start time tomorrow. There still are some tickets remaining. And then there is a day off on Thursday, and Milwaukee comes in for 3. Foul back. Saturday's game is a 3:10 game. It's a nationally televised affair, and then ESPN has Sunday night's game at 7:10 against the Brewers. Our next Channel 5 game comes up on the 13th. We'll be out in the Valley of the Sun. Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dempster throws out Yachty. Are you a Facebook fanatic? Become a fan of News Channel 5 on Facebook. Simply look up KSDK or link to us by clicking on the Facebook icon on the KSDK.com homepage. Share your views on the latest news and stories about St. Louis on air or online. News Channel 5 is where the news comes first.
Only 10 pitches this inning for Dempster. He had 90 coming in. And he may just be able to go 1 more inning if he gets Ryan out in short order.
Speaking of news, I want to congratulate an old friend, Norty Balber, on a hole-in-one at Gateway National yesterday on that tough 17th hole.
Must be nice.
How about that? That's high to Ryan.
The Houston-Cincinnati game is now in the top of the 10th inning, and the good news for the Cardinals is that Micah Owings is the 6th pitcher being used in that game for Cincinnati. So use up the bullpen, Jay. Let him go. Let him go 18.
You get on the internet. The scoreboard here is running a little behind, but that's not unusual.
No. Manual scoreboard here in Wrigley Field.
Part of the tradition.
You sacrifice a little bit of the timing, maybe, with that the internet might give you, but you know, a lot more kind of homey feel here.
Here they come with the ninth anyway.
Well, the way baseball's been, maybe they're running out of zeros.
Boy, I tell you, it's been fascinating, hasn't it? The 2-2 pitch.
How many zeros he has back there?
Full count. It's a hot job out there.
Think there's any air conditioning out there?
I don't believe so.
I would doubt it.
The strikeout. Redbirds down 1-2-3. Cardinals lead 4-0.
Welcome to my new abode. This is awesome. Wow.
Who knew you were so environmentally responsible?
Yeah. Wait, Enviro what?
Your house made of empty Bud Light cans.
Oh, they're not empty. Oh, here we go.
Yeah! There's Bud Light in the fridge made of Bud Light.
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Oh, look, a window.
Sorry, honey.
Can you imagine the game played on anything less than the most beautiful grass you've ever seen? Neither can we. Scott's, official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
If you need any more reasons to get out and make the most of this time of year, your Jeep dealer has 5 that get you into it like nothing else. Feel the freedom of a legendary Jeep Wrangler, capable Grand Cherokee, Sky Slider equipped Liberty, or fuel-efficient Patriot and Compass. During the Memorial Day sales event, get 0% APR financing for 60 months plus $500 bonus cash on Liberty. I live, I ride, I am. Jeep.
For the most distinctive in-depth coverage around, Game Day Magazine delivers an insider's perspective you won't get anywhere else. From the field to the front office to the farm system, each issue is a true keepsake. Subscribe or give a gift at stlcardinals.com or call 314-345-9303.
The folks at McMahon Ford right now offer up Rick's Quick Fix.
And the defense of Skip Schumacher is what we're going to highlight here. He has been struggling defensively this year. There's no question about that. He has 9 errors on the season, but the real best fix for Skip Schumacher is to just kind of relax, not to kind of overthink it. Now he needs to keep doing his work with Jose Oquendo, but he needs to kind of accept the fact that he's not going to be perfect at second. I mean, in some ways, Skip, I mean, I love him as a teammate, but sometimes he's his own worst enemy because he worries too much about being perfect. So easier said than done, but if he could just kind of relax and just let his ability take over, I think Skip will be okay.
A strike to Derek Lee, who struck out in the first and grounded out in the third.
Jose Oquendo knows a lot about not just the kind of the mechanics of fielding, but also kind of the thought process. A lot like hitting and pitching. There's thought processes that go into it.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. Chicago threatened in the 4th. But Wainwright got Starlin Castro, the young shortstop, to ground into a double play to end the threat. And down goes Lee. 5 strikeouts. Well, let's see. Leaf guard.
I'll give you a hint.
To name that Cardinal.
I'll give you a hint. He's thrown a no-hitter before.
Bud Smith. My golly.
Bud Smith was all of about 5'10", 155 pounds, and he's got a big league no-hitter to his credit.
I wouldn't have gotten that one. Should have, but I wouldn't have.
Well, he wasn't a Cardinal for very long.
No.
Cardinals kind of gave up on him pretty quickly. He had a very good changeup, good curveball. Traded
he was
to
involved
Philadelphia.
in that Scott Rowland deal, wasn't he?
Yeah, traded to Philadelphia.
Foul out of play. Aramis Ramirez singled and was later thrown out at the plate in the second inning. He struck out in the fourth. Frank, you have a little note on Bud Smith.
Well, he had that one, I guess, Andy Warhol 20 seconds of fame, but he only won 7 games in his big league career after that. He was definitely a flash in the pan. He battled some injuries, but he's got to be one of the few players in Major League history with a no-hitter on his resume and only 7 career wins.
Good point. Good to have Frank with us this afternoon.
He's one of those guys, as Frank's numbers indicate, in talking about the continuation of his career, he really did not have an extra gear. He basically was 100% what you have, and if you lose about 10% of it, it doesn't work anymore. And that's exactly the kind of pitcher he was. He needed 100% effort, and he needed to be on to win. And unfortunately, he couldn't avoid the injuries long enough to continue his career. It's a tough, players will say, Jay, and there's a common statement. It's easy to get to the big leagues. It's hard to stay there.
Yep, that's right. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Wainwright. Full count. The Yankees have defeated Cleveland at Yankee Stadium 7-3. Into center field. John Jay comes over and makes the play.
And talking about how tough the big leagues is, Adam Wainwright just threw a 3-2 changeup with full confidence to Aramis Ramirez. And I guarantee you don't see a lot of 3-2 changeups in Double-A and Single-A in college ball, where you got a guy with a great curveball and a great fastball throwing a changeup 3-2.
Bird is grounded out, reached on an infield single in the fourth and was stranded. Oh, 0-2.
He's ahead in the count. You start with the fastball in off the plate. Do you go fastball away, or you just try to bury him right here with a breaking ball? You're ahead of him. Finish him off now or later. Fastball away. He wants this off the plate. Yachty sets up off the plate, and that's where the pitch is. Now you've done that once. Do you repeat? Do you throw the fastball in on the hands, get him off the plate, or go to the knockout pitch here?
Time was called.
Curveball. He's going to try to throw this one in the dirt, trusting Yadier's ability to block it.
That's half a dozen, Cousin, in the strikeout department.
That's pitching.
And 6 innings have been played here. 4-0 St. Louis.
Why do you think physicians refer their patients here?
St. Francis has the premier neonatal unit in the region.
It's actually the region's first fully accredited sleep center through the American Academy of Sleep Medicine.
The program we put in place is making great strides. We're 5-star rated for total hip, total knee, also hip fracture care.
Physicians that staff the wound care center have great healing rates, and I think the word of mouth gets out to patients.
I get phone call after phone call. The families, they love St. Francis.
At Amerimart, you can find everything you need. One stop and you're on the go. Visit our new Amerimarket on North Kings Highway, proudly serving Seattle's best coffee, lattes, and mochas. And see our wide selection of wine and beer. On Filler Up Fridays, get a 44-ounce fountain soda for 75 cents with a tank of gas. And get 50-cent fountain sodas on Thirsty Thursdays.
Buckle up and drive safely. And don't forget your free popcorn and hand sanitizer when you fill up your tank.
There's a difference when you fill up with quality branded fuels from Amerimart. Now at 11 locations.
Run ahead of the pack with a Coyote tractor. You're sure to find exactly what you need with models ranging from 22 to 90 horsepower. And all Coyote tractors have a 4-year full fleet warranty. Take one for a test drive today at Perryville Outdoor Products.
Good ice. Cheeseburger. And the kids' grilled cheese meal. And crayons and a coloring book.
What? For guys who love grilled cheese, but hate ordering off the kids' menu. Introducing a grilled cheese for grown-ups. The grilled cheese bacon thick burger, starting at $2.79, only at Hardee's.
Is our Hardee's hot pitch of the afternoon.
Strikeout number 6 by Wainwright. It's the curveball. He gets ahead of Bird, finishes him off. Perfect location. And Wainwright does what most starting pitchers want to do. Get to the plate 3 times in a game. That means you're in it, means you're pitching well. And of course he is here this afternoon. 6 scoreless innings for Wainwright as he leads off for the Cardinals here in the 7th inning.
Wainwright has popped out and grounded out. John Grabo and Bob Howry are loosening up in the pen for Chicago.
Carlos Zambrano no longer in the pen of the Cubs. He's going to get a start.
Huh? I read that today. Yeah.
He wasn't too happy about being out there anyway.
No.
Still don't think he's right though. Watching him pitch against the Cardinals, he's kind of pushes the ball anyway, but he just didn't really seem to be very loose and limber, and fastball about 90-91, which is considerably lower than what it's been.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Out to the shortstop. Castro throws on. Low throw is handled. Who's your favorite local band? Here's your chance to vote with the MetroMix.com Hot 5 competition. Check out the best local musical acts in St. Louis at Metromix. The top 5 of the Hot 5 will showcase their talent at the Foxhole on June the 11th. Visit Metromix.com/Hot5 and cast your vote. Schumacher is grounded out, singled, and flied to left. Little high. 2 balls and no strikes. They're in extra innings, as we've told you, at Cincinnati, and Houston has come up with 2.
There's some good news.
In the seats.
Schumacher's been swinging the bat a lot better the last few weeks. He was moved to the lower spot in the order on May 11th. It's just been about 3 weeks, and he spent most of his time in the 7th spot, sometimes the 8th spot, an occasional start in the leadoff role. The last time he hit leadoff was last Sunday in the game that we did, Jay, and back in the leadoff spot here today. He's 1 for 3.
but his average climbing up over 240, going in the right direction.
A payoff pitch coming from Ryan Dempster. He's got a piece of it. Howery on the right. Rabo, the left-hander, and a strikeout. That's 7. Follow the Cardinals on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at bat 2010. It's featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. For more information, visit Cardinals.com today. Here's Ludwig. Luddy with a big hit in the 5th inning for an RBI, and he later scored. In the 1st, he flied to center. He struck out in the 3rd. Here's a shot into left. And it'll be a double. The ball almost bounced up over the track, stayed in the ballpark.
And about time that Ryan Ludwig finds a hole in an outfield defense. He's lined out so many times in the past couple of weeks. And he hits his ball pretty hard into the left center field gap, and it gets down in the warning track. It is his 2nd hit of the day, and I wonder if Mr. Pujols is going to get to swing the bat this time. My guess is no.
Mr. Piniella has quietly and slowly made his way to the mound.
1, 2, 3. I'm going to count his steps, Jay.
Nice and easy, Lou.
1, 22, 23, 24, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Not that far, Jay.
38 steps, huh? Here's the intentional pass.
Couldn't he have saved those steps and just yelled out, "Hey, walk him"? Would have been easier.
Fifth walk.
Well, there's one way to make this a bad strategy. That's for Matt Holliday to do some damage, which we know he's capable of doing. Only 5 home runs, Jay, that we talked about early. Does have a couple of hits today. His average up to 299, which is what Albert's average was coming into play today. And we'll see if Matt Holliday can make this strategy backfire.
2 on and 2 out. That caught the inside corner.
Straight up in the outfield. Slightly to pull on the infield.
And it's out into right. Ludwig is being waved home. Here's the play. He is there. Drug that hand across the plate.
Did not see a call by the home plate umpire.
He never made one.
I still don't think he's made one. I wonder if they go into the dugout and tag Mr. Ludwig if he's out or not. He may have yelled safe, but he did not show that he was safe.
Never did. The plate umpire.
But a big hit
Mike
anyway.
Easterbrook.
But anyway you look at it, a big hit for Matt Holliday. Another 2-out hit for the Cardinals.
And Bob Howery's going to come in. We have a pitching change. As you see, Try and get that hand down on the plate. The Redbirds now leading 5-0. Back with more in a moment.
Hey, I'm Ron Capps, driver of the Napa Dodge Charger Funny Car. When you count on your car like I do, it always pays to go with the best parts and the best parts people. Go where the pros go. Auto Tire and Parts Napa.
As we celebrate 100 years, Auto Tire and Parts wants to say thanks for making us the Heartland's first choice for parts. For 5 generations, we've offered the largest selection of quality products with personal hometown service. Your parts professional since 1909.
Get the good stuff.
Auto Tire and Parts Napa.
For over 25 years, Davis Glass has been a leader in glass contracting for local commercial projects. You probably see their work every day. Put their experience to work for you. Remodeling a new residential, including custom and one-of-a-kind glass installations, such as shower enclosures. Replace mirrors, windows, picture frames, fireplace doors. Anything glass, as small as a chip, as large as a total replacement. Davis Glass even fixes windshields.
Give us a call or stop by and visit us today.
The podiatry program at Missouri Delta Medical Center focuses on relieving your debilitating foot and ankle pain and moving you toward an active lifestyle.
We know these patients by name, so we have an obligation and a responsibility to treat these patients as if they are a member of our own family.
We focus on your improved health and recovery, supporting better balance and mobility day after day. Visit us on the web at MissouriDelta.com.
For the Love of the Game is presented by McDonald's.
And a nice shot of our crowd today. Cardinal fans and Cub fans living together in harmony here at the ballpark today, Jay.
And into the game, Bob Howry. And remember, talking about love, what's not to love about getting 50 hot crispy chicken McNuggets for 99 cents. That's amazing. Imagine that. 50 for $99.99 only at McDonald's. Howry has been with 5 clubs in the big leagues. Pitching with the White Sox and Boston and Cleveland, and then the Cubs, and then San Francisco. He's signed by the Cubs on the 21st of May. Worked solely out of the bullpen over the years. 37 years old. Fouled upstairs.
David Freese had a base hit in his first at bat here this afternoon, but a couple of frustrating at bats. He was called out called out on strikes twice in the 4th and the 5th, and he seems to be a little frustrated at the plate, like he's maybe not seeing the ball very well. And he's down in the count again to Howry.
Up the middle. And another run scores. RBI for David Freese, who continues his fine hitting with runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
But 2-out hitting has been the story of the afternoon for the Cardinals, as they have continued to deliver. This time it's David Freese, a little base hit up the middle on an 0-2 pitch. Certainly not the location that Bob Howry wanted.
29 RBIs on the season for Freese. Here's John Jay. He fouls it back.
And John Jay looking for his first big league RBI.
Popped up. Castro out into short left makes the play. Wainwright has been staked to a 6-0 advantage.
Baseball fans, make your next game day part of a great getaway in historic St. Charles, Missouri. Just a short drive west of Busch Stadium, St. Charles offers the safety and value of a smaller city, but with nightlife and attractions that really measure up. She'll love the specialty shops and restaurants along Main Street. You'll enjoy Bass Pro or a handcrafted beer at Trailhead Brewing Company. To plan your game day getaway, visit historicstcharles.com. Shop, dine, stay, play. Discover St. Charles, Missouri.
No matter where you buy your gas, it can be a painful experience or a delightfully rare occurrence. It's all in the choice of car you drive. Honda, a fuel economy leader for the last 30 years.
Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer or go to shophonda.com.
Meet U.S. Cellular customer Steve, his wife Joan, and their ornithopter.
An ornithopter is a device that flies by flapping its wings like a bird. Just building it was a lot of fun. I sit and look at it and I think about it, and then if I want to add something or improve something, it's just a neat mechanical project, and I'm just a mechanical sort of guy.
If you want to build your own ornithopter or ask Steve about his, give him a call. With U.S. Cellular, every call he gets is free, anytime, from anyone. U.S. Cellular. Believe in something better.
Immediately following today's telecast, stay tuned for the Dave Sinclair Automotive Group Cardinals Game Day Wrap-Up. Enjoy all the Cardinal highlights from today's action. News Channel 5, your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. All 6 runs today have come with 2 outs, and that's encouraging, to say the least. Soriano leading it off. He's walked and doubled. Soto and Castro to follow. It's over at Cincinnati. Houston wins it in extra innings 2-0. There's a strikeout. Yachty comes up and throws in time. That's number 7 in the strikeout department.
Pretty good ratio for Wainwright on strikes to balls, 96 pitches, rolling right along here in the 7th inning. He does have a couple of complete games, kind of a rarity in baseball these days. Not very many complete games ever. And you'd expect him to at least have enough in terms of pitch count to be able to go 8.
Soto gets into this one, and it's a home run to left. There goes the shutout. That's number 11 on the season in the RBI department, and his 5th home run.
Well, this ball looked up in the zone for Soto. Wainwright gave up just 1 run against San Diego on a pitch that hung, and this one was kind of a hanging changeup up in the eyes of Soto, and he puts it into the bleachers. Wainwright still had a pretty good road trip, Jay. Just two runs on 2 home runs.
Remarkable. Starlin Castro gets this one into center field. It just got by the outstretched glove of Ryan. And he is 2 for 3 on the afternoon, the young shortstop. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Tyler Colvin is going to pinch hit.
I didn't think they still made phones that had cords attached to them, Jay.
There are a few, I guess. Huh?
That's what happens when you're playing in a stadium that was built in 1914.
That's right.
At least you don't have to crank that phone up down there.
$41,353 watching the action this afternoon here, along with all the folks on the rooftops. Tyler Colvin, 24 years old, from Augusta, Georgia. Started Clemson. He hit .356 there as a junior. He hit 384 games at Double-A Tennessee last season. He's come along rather quickly for them.
A Georgian pitching to a Georgian here. And a lot of conversation in Chicago. People want to see this guy play more. Problem is you have 3 established outfielders all batting over 300. So at-bats are hard to come by. They also have Xavier Nady on their bench, who's also a proven big league hitter.
Yeah, the problem with Nady is that he's a liability in the outfield. He's such a poor throwing arm. He's had a lot of work done on his right shoulder and Tommy John surgery and everything else. Colvin strikes out.
Tied up on this pitch inside. You can see just his arms kind of pull into his body, which means he's tied up. He's not getting his arms extended, and Wainwright with that cutter right in on the hands, much like the strikeout of Fukudome in the 3rd, and he picks up yet another one.
Fukudome is flied to center, struck out, and grounded out.
It's 8 strikeouts for Wainwright. Dempster's line 6 2/3 innings, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and the Cardinals fared pretty well against a pretty tough right-hander.
And one of those walks was an intentional pass.
And you mentioned, Jay, all of the runs that the Cardinals have scored here this afternoon via the 2-out hit. That is the story of the game today, hitting with 2 outs.
Two balls and a strike. Schumacher underhanding to Albert. That'll do it. Chicago gets on the board. The home run by Giovanni Soto. 6-1 St. Louis.
No matter where you are, you're never far from the fun at Fairmount Park. Make plans with your group now, because you're never far from the fun at Fairmount Park.
It's time to get huge savings on a 2010 Ford Focus with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% for 60 months. Not to mention a no-charge powertrain care and premium maintenance service plan on a 35 MPG Focus. That's right, save thousands, get 2 no-charge service plans, and Ford quality that can't be beat. So don't miss out. Get up to $3,000 cash back or 0% for 60 months. Plus, a no-charge powertrain care and premium maintenance service plan on a 2010 Ford Focus. Visit your quality Ford dealers today.
I am the turkey, bacon, and cheddar, ruler of the grilled sandwiches, boy king of delicious meats. I am the deli trio, lord of Genoa salami, ham, and roasted turkey on grilled artisan bread. My grilled artisan bread is adorned with turkey, bacon, and sun-dried tomato spread. Tomatoes dried by the sun. Do you hear me? The sun.
Sir, are you making your sandwiches talk?
No.
So our new grilled sandwiches actually speak?
Yep.
AAA Auto Insurance could save you hundreds. Combine your home and auto policies, and you could save even more. AAA Insurance. So easy. So smart. So switch.
McMahon Ford, new location, same great deals.
This portion of Cardinals baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Window World, a proud sponsor of Cardinals baseball, and by Toyota. Toyota's national sales event is going on now. Hurry in to your Toyota dealer today. So look into the dugout a few seconds ago. And we're guessing that
no hugs until you're done.
Wainwright this afternoon.
Yeah, you don't get a hug until you're done.
Mott is warming up down the right side.
Chris Carpenter offering his congratulations to Adam Wainwright, and he certainly deserves that. Good outing for him. 7 innings. Just 1 run, the home run by Soto in the 7th. 8 punch outs.
And this left-hander is John Grabo. Grabo 0-3 on the year and a big fat ERA of 9.00. Fouled away. Yachty has flied out and grounded out twice. Our congratulations to Dario Franchitti, winning the Indianapolis 500 at the Brickyard this afternoon in Indianapolis.
Sounds like a player on AC Milan, the soccer team that's staying at our hotel.
Yeah.
Had a chance to talk. I'm not sure what I said to him or what he said to me, but I had a chance to talk to one of their strikers going up the elevator. I would love to have seen some of their stud players, but never did run into them. Ronaldinho is in our hotel. I'm sure you know all about him, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. Into right. Molina flies out.
And of course, everybody buzzing here about the Blackhawks in Chicago.
Oh, boy. And congratulations to Joel Quenneville, former Blues coach. Wonderful man. And we had a great season here. And boy, oh boy, are they turned on to their hockey club here. Brendan Ryan. Stavino has come out on deck. Ryan has popped out, walked and scored and struck out. Grabo is 31 years old. He's from California. His first full season with Chicago. And high into the air goes Ramirez to make the play.
We were talking about the Blackhawks, Jay, and you look at the 4 major sports: Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, and hockey. These are the longest title droughts. Cubs, 102 years. That had been 1908, and the Blackhawks here in Chicago, well, been 49 years for them. And the NFL Cardinals we're familiar with. St. Louis had something to do with some of those years.
You bet. Stavinoa. Nobody on, 2 out. 8th inning. Had a pitch infield single on Friday here. A team high 22 pinch hits.
Jason Mott will take over for the Cardinals. Bottom of the 8th inning. He's been lights out of late.
Out to second. And throwing on. That's going to do it. He's had 22 pinch hit appearances and 7 hits. It's going to do it.
If you're on your feet all day, you'll understand how important it is to get the right boot. With 6 generations in the business, Lorenz Shoes is the place to get the best work boot for your dollar. Also available are New Balance shoes, good for work and play. Visit Lorenz Shoes on High Street in Jackson or on the Square in Perryville.
Advance Auto Parts Monster Jam Summer Heat. Brought to you by Ford Trucks. Kids seats are just $5 to see Monster Jam superstars. Opar Magic, War Wizard, Stone Crusher, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and newly crowned champion, Grave Digger. Plus, adults can save $4 with a discount coupon from Advance Auto Parts. June 18th and 19th for the first time ever at Paducah International Raceway.
So, Bob, how was your weekend?
It was grand.
The new Grand L40 tractor from Kubota. Life is grand.
On the next Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Susie's a retired kindergarten teacher.
Look at you back in elementary school.
And she's got a lesson plan for fun. Now, chalking up a victory,
I want to peek at Malachi.
they just send her back to the drawing board.
Tell my principal I'm coming out of retirement. Will you hire me back?
Anytime.
On the next Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Tuesday at 7 on My 49.
We talked about them early on.
Number 1 was to get out on top. The Cardinals 20-5 in games in which they take the lead. They did that today. Wainwright staying right. Outstanding effort for him here this afternoon. Solid defense. Errorless game to this point for the Cardinals. So all 3 of those things working in the right direction for the Redbirds as Jason Mott takes over. 22 games he has been in this season. The low ERA 2.75. But the real story has been what he's been the last couple of weeks. He's been just dynamite. Not very many walks. Also, Jay, you think about Mott as a guy that occasionally loses command, but just 5 walks on the season, so he's throwing strikes.
Terrio, the second baseman, leads it off. He'll be followed by Lee and Ramirez. Mott struck out 2 in an inning of work here on Friday. He's retired the first batter he has faced 16 of 22 times.
Must be nice to have a 91-mile-an-hour slider. That is bringing it.
Popped up into short right. Battling the sun out there. Ludwig, he's got it though. That Sunfield about now with not a cloud in the sky, Rick, is really a toughie.
And it really wasn't much of an issue for Adam Wainwright. As we look at his numbers today, only 2 balls hit into the outfield, so they were not tested at all with Wainwright. He got 10 infield outs.
Here's Derek Lee. He has struck out, grounded out, and struck out on another occasion in the 6th. Fouled off.
We had great views there of the sky here in Chicago and the beautiful stadium, and what a great job our crew is doing. And we appreciate our producer Mike Helling, our director Tom Mee, of course the author Tom Mee, who's written the book Cutting the Game that everybody should have on their bookshelves by now. Why wouldn't you? I've got it on mine.
Well, I do too.
And I've read it cover to cover.
Fascinating stuff if you're one that wants to get into the inside of the game from the television standpoint.
And a great game this is, Jay. You know, I'm reminded of that coming to a place like Wrigley Field, just thinking about memories of being at this ballpark, seeing some unbelievable games and see some great players play here. You know, I met Ernie Banks here.
Yeah.
And seeing Ron Santo in the booth next to us, and think about the game Ryan Sandberg had against the Cardinals in the 80s. A couple home runs against.
You know, when
Bruce
I did
Sutter.
the sit today, when the bus got here, and I went up just to talk. There's Mr. Santo. I went over into the clubhouse just for a few minutes and visited with the manager, and then I came down the tunnel and out into the visiting dugout, and I just sat there for about 10 or 15 minutes and kind of commiserated with myself.
Soaked it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had the same situation with Rip Rowan, who's the clubhouse manager for the Cardinals, and we just talked about great memories here. And of course, there's the great players and the Hall of Famers here. But I remember the day that Jeff Lottie gave up the game-winning hit here and walked back to the hotel from the ballpark here. I don't know how long a walk that is.
It's 8 miles, I would think.
I would say, and we stayed in the lobby waiting for him to come back, just worrying about the guy. But he finally made it back to the hotel. And just memories of just great contests here and watching some of the great Cub players play. Sandberg, one of them.
Oh my. With a win here this afternoon, the Redbirds will pick up a game on Cincinnati. Houston winning 2-0 in extra innings at Cincinnati.
And if they win here today, and if they beat Cincinnati tomorrow, they can finish May with a winning record and could finish May tied for first place. With all that's going on in the month, not a bad way to end it. But a little bit of work left to make that happen.
Jaime Garcia against Bronson Arroyo. 3:15 that game time tomorrow at Busch Stadium. The payoff pitch coming to Derek Lee.
That's the fastball down and away. And he got it. 97, he got it.
Oh, Mott is really looking good, isn't he?
He gets so amped up on the mound, he's got to yell into his glove after he does something good because he doesn't want to show up the other team. And look at that fastball right where Yachty put his glove. 97. You really can't hit that pitch.
Aramis Ramirez singled and was cut down at the plate in the second inning on a fine throw by John Jay and a quick tag by Yadier Molina. He struck out in the fourth and flied to center in the sixth. One ball and one strike. Cardinals got a home run from Albert in the first. An RBI from Ludwig in the fifth, and a two-run homer by Albert. And then scoring two more runs on RBIs from Holiday and Freeze in the seventh. Popped up into short right. Ludwig comes on to make the play. Good shake. They're down 1-2-3.
There's so much passion.
Have a nice book club. I'll beat the game.
I'd like to think so, though.
Oh, here we go. So what's the story?
We were discussing the relationship of two women who were thrust together by war.
Ooh, thrusting. Okay, I'm with you.
A war neither of them understands.
Awesome. Good times. I love book club. I'd like to hear you read some words.
It's the sure sign of good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
So then, do you like Little Women?
Yeah, I'm not too picky. No.
We went around surprising people by swapping their rides with a Ford. And we got a little help from their friends and family.
We swapped your car for the week.
What? It's a Ford Escape.
Really?
Yeah.
I really like the parallel parking. Oh my goodness, it's doing it.
Your car's been swapped for a week. It's a Ford Edge.
It has all kinds of features my Equinox does not have.
The Vista roof. Call Dad.
Call Dad.
Love that.
Get up to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing for 60 months on Edge. Visit your quality Ford dealers today.
I feel edgy.
Very clever.
Here's
That's a great deal from Imo's. Get 2 medium, 2 topping Imo's pizzas for $7.99 each. That's right, 2 medium, 2 toppings, only $7.99 each.
Everybody knows it's Imo's, a square beyond compare.
Whose idea was this? It says that when you buy a Grand Caravan, Dodge will give you 60 days to decide if you want to keep it. It's ridiculous. Look at that thing. Why would you need 60 days? Really, who is that indecisive? The Dodge, you won't need 60 days to decide, but we'll give it to you anyway. Event.
Or, during the Memorial Day sales event, well-qualified lessees can get Grand Caravan SE for $259 a month.
Sunday is game day on News Channel 5. Join us the 13th of June. The Cardinals travel to Arizona to face the Diamondbacks. The Window World Cardinals game day preview comes your way at 2:30. Cards and the Diamondbacks June 13th on your home for Cardinal baseball, News Channel 5. Schumacher, Ludwig, and Pujols. Top of the 9th inning. Schumacher is grounded out, singled. He stole a base in the 3rd. He flied to left in the 5th and struck out in the 7th. Here are the other pitching pairings for that game against Cincinnati. We mentioned Jaime Garcia and Bronson Arroyo tomorrow. Tuesday it'll be P.J. Walters against Johnny Cueto. And Chris Carpenter goes against Sam LeCour on Wednesday.
You know, we got a nice email from a family celebrating this Memorial Day weekend. Dennis Ballinger wants to wish his parents a happy 31st wedding anniversary. They're avid Cardinal fans watching today on KSDK and enjoying so far has been all Cardinals.
And we hope all of you are enjoying the game and will enjoy this weekend and be safe and celebrate a very special time in our country.
Yeah, I was going to say be safe and be thankful for those who have served. And they honored many of our military men and women before the game here today, Jay, and the fans really appreciated that moment.
And they have some ceremonies slated for tomorrow at Busch Stadium.
As we should.
Ludwig is 2 for 4, has scored twice and has an RBI. One ball and 2 strikes.
Grabo has come up a couple of different times, Jay, in terms of the Cardinals maybe wanting to have him as a left-handed reliever, and they never really pulled the trigger on him.
No.
But I would say you've got to be pretty happy with who they've got out there in the bullpen now. Dennis Reyes has been outstanding this year, low ERA, and Trevor Miller is doing a good job, and there's a 3rd left-hander out there now, Evan McClain, who was just recalled.
I think it's Trevor's birthday today, if I'm not mistaken.
I wish I'd have known that.
Yeah, well, I believe it. I believe it is. Let's look it up.
Saw him in the clubhouse. I would have. Boy, I would have brought him a cake, Jay. It was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay. Well, I read it in some of the notes. I'm just a day late and $1 short. But
too late for a cake, too.
He's done a fine job out there. Reyes on the left, Miller on the right. 2-2 the count.
The lefties always hang together, too. I don't know why that is. There's all those people down the bullpen, all kinds of place to sit, but you've got the left-hander sitting next to each other.
Who did you hang with down there?
Ken Daly. We used to sit together quite a bit. And there's a reason for that. You're talking about the guys that you are probably going to face. So you want to be, I mean, I can't say that they're always talking about the game out there. That would be, that would not be the truth. But you always know what's going on. You always know what the situation is.
Strikeout. And Ludwig looks back at plate umpire Mike Easterbrook. Cardinals announcer apparel from Cutter and Buck, provided courtesy of Ad Creations. Contact Ad Creations for all of your promotional product and apparel needs. If you want people to remember your name, remember ours. www.adcreations.com. Pujols has had himself a day. 2 booming home runs, 3 RBIs, an intentional walk, and a conventional walk.
Well, I said I would not bet against him hitting 3 home runs. I still wouldn't bet against it.
Into the upper deck on the right side. A shot into center field. Going back. Gone. Glad you didn't bet on it. But was that something? That is his 12th home run. Fourth career 3-run home run game.
Albert is locked in this afternoon. He hits this one to dead center field. It goes up into the basket.
Yep.
Albert has had an incredible afternoon. 4 RBIs, 3 home runs, 2 tape measure shots, 1 to left center, 1 down the left field line, and this one to straightaway center field. And man, he hit this one. This isn't about the wind at Wrigley either. This is about a guy locked in, swinging the bat very, very well today.
That ball was hit to the deepest part of the ballpark at the 400-foot mark. And the wind, although it picked up around 2 o'clock for a little while, it's really very light now.
I told you I wouldn't bet against it.
Yep.
You know, you wonder, Jay, with Albert having a breakout day like this, if that might loosen up some of the other Cardinal hitters too.
It should.
When your key player is not right, it puts more pressure on everybody else. And with Albert swinging the way he has, you just hope, as we take a look at the ball still in the basket.
The ball in the basket.
You just hope that the rest of the lineup maybe just kind of lightens up a little bit and starts to produce.
Matt Holliday on the day. 3 hits. Grounded into a double play. July 20th, 2004 was his first career 3-run home run day, and it came here. And here is Holliday with his 4th hit of the afternoon. Ricky, I think you might have something with that relaxing and just going up there and being calm, cool, and collected and knocking that ball around.
Holliday, good afternoon as well. 4 base hits. You know, there's something about, you know, when your main guy isn't right, it just affects the rest of the team. And Matt Holliday is the kind of guy that can carry a team as well, but Albert's still the guy. And you want to see Molina start to hit. You want to see Rasmus start to hit. And how about this?
Freeze with a long one. And it is out of here. David's 4th home run of the year. And more 2-out RBIs for David Freese. Man, oh man.
Well, the Cardinals have now scored 9 runs with 2 outs. Every one of their rallies here this afternoon have been with 2 outs. The Cubs pitchers not able to finish innings, and David Freese with his 4th home run of the season, and that was some power right there.
Here it is again.
This pitch is up in the zone, right in the middle of the plate, and he knows it.
John Jay has struck out twice, flied to right and popped up.
We'll see if the bench noticed Freese's home run. Oh yeah, hey, by the way, that's pretty good too. Mark McGwire pretty happy. Can't blame him a bit. You know, I know Mark McGwire has been feeling some tension with the Cardinals offense not producing the way he knows they can and the way they know they can, but interesting to see him and Albert having a conversation there.
And another into left. Four hits in a row.
John Jay's first hit of the day, another 2-out hit. But you know, this is important. McGwire and Pujols having a conversation while he's going well. You know, part of the job of a hitting coach is understanding what are you doing right when you do it right, and how can I help you stay there. So just casually kind of listening to Albert and kind of getting in his brain a little bit and talking about what he's doing right so he can help him get back there when he has a bad day or two. That's part of the job of a hitting coach.
Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, former major league manager, pitching coach with the Marlins, was out to talk to John Grabo. Molina stands in. Yachty is 0 for 4 this afternoon. Flied to right twice and grounded out twice.
Seems like a different team today, Jay.
It sure does.
They're tacking on runs. They're not scoring and then quitting. They're hitting with power.
2 balls and a strike to Yachty.
14 hits on the afternoon already.
I mentioned they hit 18 home runs against the Cubs last year. 4 today in this first series against the Cubs. It's one of the latest times this last weekend in May that they have played for the first time in the season.
Right.
Into right, and it's handled out there by Fukudome. But the Birds put some more on the board. The home runs from Pujols, his third, and from David Freese, 9-1.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Our top story.
The sooner you're treated for a stroke, the sooner we can help stop the damage from spreading. If you experience symptoms, dial 911. To learn if you're at risk for a stroke, visit Southeast Missouri Hospital at sehealthcheck.com.
Next time you order a grilled cheese off the kids' menu, don't do it in front of the guys. Introducing a grilled cheese for grown-ups. The grilled cheese bacon thick burger, starting at $2.79, only at Hardee's.
I would like to invite you all to come along with me on a journey.
The Office.
Tonight at 9 on My 49.
Next 2.5 Men. Things are tough all over.
Money doesn't just fall from the sky. Obviously, you've never been sitting ringside when a pole dancer hangs upside down.
So Alan has to sell Berta on a pay cut.
You can roll manure in powdered sugar, but it still ain't a jelly donut.
Next 2.5 Men.
Tonight at 10 on My 49.
Cardinals baseball on News Channel 5 is brought to you by Bud Light, a sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at McMahon Ford. Quick expert service while you wait. Kyle McClellan is on to finish things off here.
What a job Jason Mott did in the 8th inning. Kyle McClellan now will come in to finish the ball game here. He did not pitch very well in his last outing, and Tony La Russa saw that he didn't quite have his stuff on the game on Friday. He just lasted, well, he didn't even get a third of an inning. He just gave up a hit and then was taken out, but he just didn't look right, and now he's back in to try to get himself straight. Perfect time to do it with a 9-1 Cardinal lead.
Bird is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Ricky, I think I've kind of fouled up everybody about those McNuggets at McDonald's, and I know you're involved in all of that. The price, $9.99
for 50 chicken McNuggets.
There you go, $9.99.
Could take some right about now.
You betcha. 2 strikes the count to Marlon Byrd. Soriano and Soto to follow. Redbirds have banged out 14 hits. 3 home runs from Albert. Blackhawks fans
hoping for a little better outcome in their doubleheader here today.
1 away. Soriano walked back in the 2nd. He doubled in the 4th, and he struck out in the 7th inning.
What a show Albert Pujols has put on today.
Soriano, interesting, you know, he spent that early time in Japan. Ryan, 2 away. Oh, the Cubs are down to their last out. Soto, who come to the plate, he homered in the 7th inning. Walked earlier and struck out before that. Player of the game, no question about it.
Yeah, not hard to pick this one. Albert Pujols, an incredible afternoon. He scored 4 runs, drove in 4, 3 for 3, 3 homers, 2 walks. I mean, you just can't get any better than that. Adam Wainwright had a great afternoon as well, but Albert's star shining a bit brighter.
One ball and 1 strike. Our next Channel 5 game, remember, comes up on the 13th of June. We'll be in Arizona. That's a 3:10 start. And don't forget the pregame show on that Sunday as well at 2:30.
We talked about getting some production out of the middle of the order. How about that for production? 7 for 8. Ton of RBIs, runs scored.
Popped up. Freeze has it. And the Birds take 2 out of 3 here at Wrigley on this Memorial weekend. And are 3-3 on the road trip to San Diego and Chicago. 9-14-0, 1-7-1. A big day for the Birds.
We're giving you 60 days to see why Chrysler Town & Country has more buyers than any other minivan in history. So if you need 60 days to decide, take them. But we think it'll earn your loyalty in about, 60 seconds. The Chrysler 60-Day Pledge. Purchase a Town & Country, and if you don't love it within 2 months, bring it back. Just one more reason to drive Detroit again.
During the Memorial Day sales event, get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on Town & Country.
This is John Chicker for Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. Life doesn't stop when your vehicle needs service. That's why we now offer Life in the Quick Lane. Life in the Quick Lane with convenient evening and weekend hours. We service all makes and models with oil changes, tires, alignments, brakes, shocks, state inspections, and more. No appointment necessary. Quick, expert service while you wait. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. Just minutes south of Highways 40 and 44 on South Kings Highway at McMahon Ford.
It was a night like tonight. The wind was howling through the trees, and a group of kids were camping. Suddenly, they realized they had all the wrong gear. No tents, no kayaks, no hiking boots, no grills for hot dogs.
Don't worry, it's just a story. Luckily, we went to Sports Authority and got everything we need for our summertime fun.
Great brands, great value.
For a limited time, get a $25 cash card when you spend $100. Spend $200, get a $50 cash card. Sports Authority, your outdoor and backyard authority.
I've been told to desire a red Italian sports car.
I've been told beige and predictable fit my lifestyle.
We've been told hollow status symbols are the goal.
I've been told it captures my essence.
Break the spell at your local Audi dealer today.
Cardinals baseball is produced by Winkler Productions. It's an exclusive presentation of News Channel 5. The next Cardinal broadcast tomorrow on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals and Cincinnati Reds. Coverage begins at 2:30. Big day for Albert Pujols. Win number 7 on the season for Adam Wainwright. The Cardinals dominated. They win it 9-1. For Rick Horton, for Mike Shannon, this is Jay Randolph. So long from Wrigley Field in Chicago.